One of my favorite days in American history is the liberation of France. And the title of that day, as everyone knows, and if you don't know, you're an idiot, is D-Day. Today is D-Day, and truth, justice, and the Big Sills way will either shine tonight or it could be a day of crow. By the way, first 15 minutes of the program is the most essential when it comes to our likes. Please, our record is 147. Let's see if we could snap that bitch tonight and make it happen here. Hit that like button. All supers go to the top. By the way, before we get into a back and forth on who wins and who doesn't win, I'll give you the Big Sills prediction. We'll be doing that. Don't forget also, pre- and post-game tonight on the legendary JAKIB. The legendary JAKIB, not a penny stock like Crossing Broad. How you doing? It's more like Crossing Broads. Okay? Hey, guys. How's 16 cents a shot doing? How you doing? Big Sills keeping score here. All right. Just so you know, this is a battle for the NFC East. God, I love saying that. Old school NFC East. Damn, I love it. Please hit the like button. First 15. We call it the Power 15 here on the National Football Show. We're going to find a lot out. By the way, real quick, you know that tool of an owner you have for the Sixers? So that asshole unveils the new Sixer jerseys today because his Commanders are rolling into Philly. That cool carpetbagger thinks you're fucking idiots. That you don't see through all that bullshit. That you're like wrestling fans. And that you don't get it. What an asshole. Like, dude, you change your uniforms more than J-Lo changes husbands. I mean, come on, man. Let's be fair about this. I mean, they change their uniforms more than J-Lo. All right? Hey, do me a favor. Please hit that like button. We appreciate everybody coming aboard. Like you're stupid, man. Fuck, dude, we know what you're doing. Let's not understand what Josh Harris is doing, the owner of the Commanders. He's trying to make you feel good and give you a reach around by going, hey, my Commanders are rolling into town. Don't forget I own the Sixers. Whatever, dude. Should be a great night. Oh, and by the way, no excuses for your Eagles. Absolutely none. Got to win this game, right? You're better. Got a better roster. You supposedly had the better quarterback, and I don't think so. You clearly, this is a monster game. This is the most compelling game of the year, I'd say, too. Matters. Working on a short work week, both guys. Steelers had a tougher opponent, of course, than what you did. By the way, like I said, all super chats go to the top. Hit that like button. Let's get to it. First and foremost, let's hear a score on what you think tonight's game will be. And then we'll do our matchups here. What's the score? Amber says 33, Redskins 22. I love Redskins, Amber. Way to go. Don't let those woke bitches derail you. Absolutely love it. 32-10, Eagles. That's because the Eagles score 30 points all the time, right? Holy cow. Look at these guys. Look at this. 30-20. You guys are making it sound like you guys have blown teams out. Oh, wait. You did. The shitty Cowboys. 6'9 Eagles. What are you playing, rugby, Bruce? 30-17. So you're expecting a blowout tonight. I love it. I absolutely love it. You're expecting a blowout tonight. Look at this. Eagle fans are expecting a blowout. Oh, and by the way, it is Eat Your Crow Day. Now, I may not eat my crow on the postgame show because that's being saved for the National Football Show on Friday, whether or not I eat it. First time in my 34 years, I have put that proclamation out. That's how confident I am and what I'm going to predict here in a couple minutes. 35-31 Birds. By the way, Eagles are favored by 4 heading into tonight's game at Lincoln Financial. Look at this, man. 28-17 Eagles. I like that. Looks like a good score there. Washington 14, Birds 24. How you doing? Need a shirt with that one day. One day we'll get around it. Hang on for a second. It's that net there. Get a shirt there. You know what I'm saying? They turned the lights off on me there. See that? Hit the like button, my friends. Almost 10 minutes away, man. I want to get to past 147 in likes. That's the record so far. Barkley, 35 carries, 220 yards rushing. Wow, 35 carries. Not a blowout. Defense needs to make plays in the fourth to put it away, says Amber. All right. Kyle says, Sills, I got 24-21 Birds. Bob, 32-24. Like it. Okay. Here's Brian. You can always count on Brian, man. Sills, I smell a Jalen Hurts stinker tonight. I have no faith because the commies got a generational talent in JD5. Please keep the ball away from QB1. That's Brian. Thanks for the super. The better quarterback tonight is the guy who's been playing the best quarterback all year. He happens to be the reigning and number 1 candidate for Offensive Rookie Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels. How you doing? All right. Let's get to what we think we will see tonight. By the way, please hit the like button. Generational talent is what you're seeing with Jaden Daniels. All right? Redskins, 38. Eagles, 16, and a blowout for Washington. James Jones, you got to be in here, man. It's a big day. Better not be hiding on me. I picked your boys to win the NFC East at the beginning of the year. 30-26 Eagles, says John. I like that score. Vic will turn Jaden into a pumpkin tonight. Okay. You guys think Nick is going for 2-point conversions? Shit, Nick wouldn't know how to coach a game if it hit him in the face. Would he go for it? Who cares what that guy thinks? That guy will give up points for sure. Hey, there's 2 things that you can count on in the NFL today. Nick Sirianni giving you 10 points and bad decisions, right? And the Giants blowing. That's a certainty in 2024 in the NFL. Okay? That's a certainty. All right? A certainty. Fly Eagles, 28-17. All right. Here is now my prediction for tonight's game and how I see this bad puppy playing itself out tonight. All right. So, first place on the line, NFC East. I really like the fact that the Redskins played the Steelers in a prep game getting ready for the Eagles, and you guys rested your guys. I mean, to me, who's better prepared to play in a big game, you or them? You know, I heard Xander and John talking about, well, they've done it longer. Not really. That defense is not. It's almost brand new. Almost every single level, you have different players on that defense. That team has not done that every single year. That offense has. That defense has not. New players in the secondary, a brand new entire set of linebackers. And now you have the young players playing in the front 4, except for Josh Sweat and Brandon. Of course, you got some guys there, and a new coordinator. That's not the same unit as even a year ago. So to say that you've done that year in and year out, no, you haven't. Offensively, yes. Pretty much the same group. Right guard and running back. And the third wideout have been changed out. Other than that, and, well, the coordinator's new. But this isn't even the same team from a year ago. So to sit there and go, well, these guys have been doing this. No, they haven't. Think about it. Think about the Nick Sirianni era. 21, decent year, went to the playoffs, got killed in the postseason. 22 was great, went up. 23 came back crashing down. And right now, we're going to find out who you are tonight. This show is like a train wreck. It's horrific, but I just can't look away. I'm here every day for it, says Joseph. As Joseph, he's the guy that stands out in the middle of the train tracks. He sees the train coming, and he sees it coming. He knows it's going to get him, and he's trying to wait for what second it is to jump out of the way of the train. Unfortunately, Joseph, sometimes Big Sills gets hit by the train. Hey, Joseph, sometimes I get hit by the train. Appreciate the super chat, all right? Hit the like button, guys. We got 4 minutes away. I want to get past 147 when it comes to our likes. Okay? Get this. Here's another dumbass by Princess. Sills is quite inconsistent. So is the league and so is your team. So wait a minute. Your team is just as inconsistent as I am. The NFL is inconsistent. One day, it's this team. Next week, it's that team. So, Prince, when you're covering football, it's an inconsistent sport, asshole. Think about it. Okay? Your quarterback is the most inconsistent player on the team. Think about it. So it's inconsistent. So is your quarterback. So is his play. Try to understand football. And again, too, just do me a favor, Prince. Sit back. Take your aluminum foil hat off. Sit back and relax, son. We're here to help. James Jones is here. There's my boy. What's up, Uncle Sills? Tonight? Yep. Tonight's ladies' night. How you doing? Yeah, baby. Here we go. 7-3 Washington Redskins versus the 7-2 Philadelphia Eagles. Wait a minute. Let me take a big breath. Washington Redskins. It's like being liberated. I love it. And I do like the fact that they played that Pittsburgh game, Washington. I do. In their last 4 meetings, the Eagles have only outscored Washington 117-102, and that was before Washington had a quarterback. Going to be a tough game tonight. Don't tell Eagle fans that. They think they have the greatest team in the history of the league here. What are you doing? It's game day. Look at Bob Brown. He's got 27-24 in a tight one to take control of the NFC East. That's a good score there, Bob. I like that. Very nice. Very nice. All right. I like the fact that Washington, and it being a young football team, had to play. All supers go to the top. Please hit the like button. 2 minutes left. Give me an update on where we are in the likes. Hopefully we can get past 147. Appreciate you guys, by the way. A lot of fun tonight. Should be a great ball game, too. I like that Washington is prepared for this game. Coming off a tough, hard-fought football game like that, that's great, man. Good stuff. Absolutely great. 10-1 vibes starting tonight. Hail to the Redskins. Hail to the Redskins. All right. Jalen Hurts. Last 9 games, 69.8 completion percentage, which is outstanding. Rushing, 93 for 378 and 10 touchdowns. This guy is a better runner than he is passer. There's no getting around it. He is absolutely a better runner than when he decides to take off and he opens up his passing game. Remember, his running ability helps his passing game so much. It's not his passing game helping his running game. That just tells you, again, where his strength is. It's running the ball. John McMullen said it perfectly today. It's not sustainable when you're going to get into games against great teams where your quarterback can't make plays from the pocket and they're tailoring back the passing game. They've totally tailored back the passing game because they want less turnovers from them. It's on display. Just look at the amount of attempts in the first 4 versus the last 5. Big Sill, seriously, why are you picking the Commanders tonight? because I picked them to win the NFC East this year because I think they got better coaching than you, and I think their quarterback's electric, and I like what I'm seeing on that side of the ball. And by the way, here are the Commanders. And by the way, Barkley dominating, 771 carries, 191 yards. He's having a great year. I think 6 TDs. Jaden Daniels at 68.7 completion percentage. He's just as effective throwing the ball and as accurate as Jalen Hurts is. He's a rookie. And he's a rookie. And by the way, I heard the guest on Birds 365 today talking about the game against Pittsburgh where he only had 5 yards. Don't forget what Pittsburgh did to Kirk Cousins, too. Pittsburgh has a great defense. It's an elite defense. I trust that defense more than I trust the Eagle defense because I know what that team is. I know what Cam Hayward is. Okay? I know what that football team does. I know what TJ Watt and Hightower do. Those are premier pass rushers. You don't have premier pass rushers. There's not one premier pass rusher on your football team. And in a league that you have to get to the quarterback, that's a deficiency. 464 rushing. This guy is kind of a mirror of Hurts. Terry McLaurin may be the most underrated football player in the National Football League. I mean, he may be the most underappreciated player in the league. 771, 47 receptions already halfway through the season. This guy gets it 15 yards a clip. He is a great football player. And as Joe Theismann said the other day, this guy is one of the most underappreciated football players in the league. By the numbers, let's do this. Here are the matchups. This is the matchups for tonight's game, okay? These are the matchups. Total offense for the Washington Redskins, number 4. Total defense, number 2. A lot of the game is going to be right there. Washington's number 1 offense versus the total defense of the Philadelphia Eagles. Which one is real? Which one is real? Who's benefited from playing shittier teams the most? The Commanders or the Eagles? We're going to find out tonight. By the way, when we give you these numbers, we don't give you opinions on this. We're giving you the facts because this is who you are. I mean, the last 5 weeks have been a joke show for the Eagles playing those opponents. Well, it's only because it's on the schedule. That's a stupid ass. Okay, so it's the schedule the NFL gave you. They gave you a week schedule. They gave you a week schedule. And those teams weren't good. Okay, well, I mean, it's what it is. That's called reality, who you are and who you've played. Same with the Commanders. By the way, I'm not touting their schedule as well. Absolutely not. This is always my favorite here. Same dickhead was posting 10-1 last year. What did he get him? A one-way ticket to the first place exit against the Buccaneers and a free pass to go to Mons Venus on Dale Mabry after your team got its ass kicked. You could go to a strip club. That's what you won in that Buck game. Consolation prize. Going to a titty bar. You were 10-1. Hit the like button, my friends. All right. Number 2. Total defense. Washington, 14th. Total offense. The Eagles are 6th. Great matchup. And I'll show you where it's a great matchup. Rushing offense. I'm kind of shocked here. The Commanders have the 4th best rushing offense in pro football. The Eagles have the 5th best rushing defense. That matchup right there is also going to be an enormous part of this ball game. I would say this. Total offense versus the total defense. 4 versus 2. We'll find out here. That's probably the second biggest look that I'll be watching for tonight's game. Total defense, Washington's 14th. The Eagles are 6th, but one-dimensional. That's going to be something to watch. That's down the line. Rushing offense. I didn't realize Washington was this good running the ball. They're 4th. And Eagle defense is 5th. That's going to be enormous to watch. Rushing defense. This here is going to be a critical part for Washington tonight to slow this down somehow. They've got the linebackers to do it. But tonight, they have to do this if they're going to be in this ball game against one of, if not the best rushing attack in pro football. The Eagles are 2nd in rushing the football versus the Washington Commanders, who are 28th. That right there favors Philly big time. That is a big-time Philadelphia advantage in this game for that right there tonight. So that is probably the biggest watch tonight. If Philadelphia can run the football and they can run it down Washington's throat, that's going to be a tough putt tonight for Washington to win that ball game. It's going to be a tough one. Now here, passing offense. The Commanders are 10th in the National Football League, throwing the ball. The pass defense is 3rd. I don't believe you're as good as you think you are back there. I think tonight we're going to find out how good the Philadelphia Eagles secondary is. I don't believe you're that good. I don't think you're bad, and I'm not saying that, but I don't think you're as good as you think you are. The only competition you really had in the last 5 weeks was Burrow. You did a sensational job against them. And Jamar Chase. Okay? That will tell me more. If you put Washington and the Bengal game together, you're going to start to make me start to believe you're a top 10 pass defense. Okay? That's going to be a takeaway. And by the way, this is an enormous takeaway game for me, for the Eagles. An enormous takeaway game. That's going to be something to watch. Here's something that I didn't realize. Pass defense. The Commanders are 5th in the National Football League. The passing offense, which has been tailored back because they don't want Hurts turning the football over as much, is 21st. They got the 21st ranked passing offense in pro football, and you're going against the 5th. I'm expecting a couple turnovers tonight from Jalen Hurts. Don't throw the ball, son. Run it. You're not good enough. Scoring. Washington's 3rd in the league. Scoring defense. The Eagles are 5th. Another key stat to watch. Scoring defense. Washington's 11th. And the scoring offense is 7th. Decent stat to watch and keep an eye on. So, tonight we're going to know a lot. And we're going to learn a lot. I have 28-26 Washington Redskins take command of the NFC East and win this ball game at Lincoln Financial and start to put a stamp on Jaden Daniels and his quest as an MVP candidate. I have tonight 28-26 Washington Redskins. It is Eat Crow Day for you as well. By the way, don't drop the game. Or as I say to some of you, don't drop the soap. Don't drop the soap. Hoo-hoo. Hey, I see 2 turnovers for Hurts tonight throwing the ball. Okay? I do, man. Look at Xander serving me up crow, man. This guy can't wait for 3:30, man. He's got a dish of crow already for me. We shall see. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, bitches. Big game tonight. 28-26, Washington Redskins. How you doing? Here we go. Brian Pumper. All super chats go to the top. Jalen Hurts, sheer aura will put the mere mortal into paralysis, and his skills mirror the image of Michael J. Jordan. Icing on top, this guy can squat Ben Franklin. He's a 600-pound squat. Elite. Peyton Manning couldn't jump over a stack of quarters. And squat, he couldn't squat the bar, which is 45 pounds. But Hurts, 600-pound squatter. Wow. I have no idea what that means. You're missing the hot sauce. No, I got the hot sauce. The hot sauce is Big Sil's predictions. You know what I told Xander? Goes, yeah, then you're picking of football games will be right out the door. I don't pick football games very well, but I pick results. 10-1. How you doing? Now, let's do this. Who has the better night tonight? Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts? All super chats go to the top. Please hit the like button. Who has the better night? I waited to do this right now. Okay? So here's my prediction. Let's see here. That overrated pass defense of yours. Here, what's this? Here's my take. Total offense of the Washington Redskins, 4th. Is it overrated? A little. Total defense, number 2. Are the Eagles' defense, is that overrated? Big time. Where do I think they are right now? 12? I think they're probably the 12th best defense in the league. Okay? Probably 12, somewhere in there. 12, 15. In between there and trending up. Okay? Total defense, Washington 14th. That's about right. That's about right. Total offense, the Eagles 6th. I actually think that's about right. As long as you don't have that quarterback throw the ball, you'll be all right. Once you get that quarterback throwing the ball, that's when everything goes to hell. So if you hang in with the rushing attack, they're going to throw the ball 45 times tonight. I mean, they're going to run the ball 45 times tonight because that's what the trends say. Washington can't stop the run, so you're going to run the ball. You're not going to. Why would you? Of course, according to the analytic kings that are in the Philadelphia Eagle organization, why would you buck the trends in the analytics by throwing the ball? Ask yourself that. If they come out in the first series throwing the ball, why would they buck the analytics? That just shows you when Nick says that shit, he's lying through his teeth. I mean, the key right now is run the ball, not throw the ball. And by the way, if you do that and you run the ball 42 times tonight and you throw it 20 and you win, I'm going to sit here the next day on Friday and go, that's exactly the formula it took. The trends tell you that. Washington struggles stopping the run. Hello? Hit the like button. Rushing offense, Washington, 4th. I didn't realize that number. I didn't know they were that good. And the rush defense is 5th for the Eagles. Do I think they're that good? No, I don't. So I think you just haven't played good running attack teams. You haven't played one running attack team in the last 5 weeks. Not one. So I would say probably top 15, stopping the run. And when you have Daniels running the ball the way he is, now you're getting that kid Robinson back. I would probably say Washington, a little bit overrated with that 4th ranking. Rush defense, that's who you are, dude. If you're down in the bottom like that, I don't care if you're 28th or 26th or 32nd, you suck at it. I mean, there's no getting around that. That's kind of who you are. You either man up and stop the run or you don't. And if you can't, you're in for a long night, and it's tough to win ball games like that when you're getting your head kicked in. The rushing offense is second. There's no getting around that they're not the second best running attack in National Football League next to the Ravens, and they are. They are the second best. Okay? All right? Hold on for a minute. I have to stop here. Hold on for a second. What did I just see? Hey, what did Prince just say? He's getting into me? How wormy. I mean, dude, what are you posting from San Francisco? I mean, damn, dude. Pass offense. 10th versus the third best pass defense. I do not believe you're the third best pass defense. I do not. Okay. Pass defense, Washington's 5th, a little overrated. Passing offense, not overrated. The Eagles are 21st. Well, you know, Hurts is not a good passer. He's okay. All right. Get this. Once again, here's Senorita. Senorita, these aren't stats. These are trends. This is what you've done. This is how you have performed this year. Okay. They're not stats. These are team stats, not individual stats, dickhead. Steel curtain, gang green, Eagle D, the green curtain, the Limburg cheese defense. Smells like shit. Jalen Hurts stats are better than Troy Aikman's stats. Interceptions, exception. Oh, of course. And 3 rings. And 3 rings. Look at these guys. Mark Collins is comparing Jalen Hurts to a 3-time Super Bowl champion, Troy Aikman. Beat Mayfield first, dude. So there's your matchups. I think your defense is a tad bit overrated, and I think that defense and that running attack a little bit for Washington's a little overrated. We will find out tonight. Crow night. Answer night. Tonight is justification night. Tonight, we're going to know who you are. I love games like this, man. Holy cow. I love games like this. Absolutely, man. Oh, by the way, we have to do this. Who has a bigger game tonight? Let me see. Here's my Jaden Daniels stats. And here's Wishbone stats. Daniels and Wishbone. Let's see. 21 against that overrated defensive secondary. I'd say 34, 275, 3, and 1, and 16, and 1. Now for Wishbone, let's see. 1, 3, 1 and 1. Oh, 1 and 2. and 2. Okay. Here is my bold predictions for tonight's individual matchups. Okay. Don't you do math on air. Don't impress yourself. Hey, kid, what are you talking about? If you're coming here to be educated, to be a scholar, this ain't your show. If you're coming here to be educated as a football guy and a sports dude, this is the only show. Okay? There's so many shows that you can go to for people lying to you about educating you on bullshit. But if you want to be educated in sports, you come here. It's the only one like it in the planet. Anti-wokers. All right. Here we go. Truth. justice. You ready? Jaden Daniels tonight. 21 of 34, 275 yards passing, 3 touchdowns and a pick, 62 yards rushing, and 1 TD. He has an iconic game to set the trends for years to come in the NFC East. Here's Wishbone Hurts' numbers. 14 of 25, 153 yards rushing. 153 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 15 carries, 53 yards rushing, and 2 TDs. That's kind of who he is, especially in the big ones. So I got Jalen Hurts at 206 total yards and 3 touchdowns and 2 turnovers. And I got Jaden Daniels at, 337 yards of total offense and 4 TDs. Bold prediction. How you doing? Yes, sir, baby. All supers go to the top. If you have something smart to say, we will post it over here. Let's take a look at Bob here. A.J. Brown has well over 300 yards in his last 2 games versus Washington. He will face almost the exact cornerbacks that he did last year, yeah? Well, unfortunately, they've got a pass rusher over there, Dante Fowler, who's got 9 sacks. That entire unit is different and better than it was a year ago because you have a guy who knows what he's doing. The same guy that you think you have, Dan Quinn's a better coordinator than Vic. His resume speaks to it. You, as much as you think Vic Fangio, and I do think Vic's a good coordinator, he ain't better than Dan Quinn. Where? In what way? And what item on his resume says that he's better? Hey, by the way, look at this guy, Chan. Hey, Chan, he laughs at Dante Fowler. I'm talking about a matchup tonight. I didn't say Dante Fowler was a superstar player. Who do you have as a pass rusher? They got a guy with 9.5 sacks or nine sacks. Who do you have? Nolan Smith? Bryce Huff? Alex Hunt? So before you say anything about, at least Fowler's got 8.5 sacks. At least he showed up. The guy you paid $18 million to hasn't showed up. He's on a milk carton floating around Philly. Have you seen this guy? Like an Amber Alert. We got 2 of the greatest running backs, Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. The greatest running backs? We have one of the greatest running back quarterbacks ever. Okay, 3 touchdowns. Saquon for 2. Hurts gets 3. Okay, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, Dan Quinn, the 28-3 guy. Oh, Dan Quinn, the 3-time Super Bowl coach. 2 in Seattle as a defensive coordinator and 1 with the Falcons as a head coach. What's Nick done that compares to that? How many Super Bowl rings does Nick have? How many Super Bowl rings does Vic Fangio have? How many Super Bowl rings does anybody on your staff have? I must have missed that. I must have missed that when I was checking resumes. Supers go to the top, please. We appreciate it. Feels like I got this as a revenge game. Brian Johnson calls a masterclass. Zucchini. Nick Zucchini. Zucchini scoring a punt return TD and Hurts game winning. Oh, my God. Zach Hurts catching the game winner at the end of the game. I hadn't thought about that. 2-minute drive. He leads you with Zach Hurts, and Hurts puts a dagger like he's Dracula right in the heart of the Eagle defense. Oh, my God. Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir. Okay. Shit, Lori and Howie got a ring. Oh, I'm sure they'll be playing and coaching well tonight. Vic is pretty good against rookie quarterbacks. Okay? We'll see if that works out tonight. Sills is heated. Heated. I'm excited about tonight's game. Dan Quinn has one Super Bowl. Do yourself a really, guy? Has one Super Bowl? So wait a minute. Dan Quinn was in fucking Seattle, dickbag, and created the Legion of Boom. Then he was the head coach in Atlanta. Do your homework. Sills, comparing Daniels and Hurts stat lines for the season are very comparable. Daniels has more yards, but Hurts is better in efficiency and RTG. There's a lot. There is not a big spread between the two. No. I know. The difference is, though, Bob, one guy's a rookie. Okay? One guy's a rookie. Okay? And the other guy's a 5-year veteran. Okay? Sills, I got 2-1 odds on Wagner destroying Hurts running up the middle. Oh, Bobby Wagner, the Hall of Fame. I will be voting for him. For Hall of Fame. Absolutely. Oh, my God. Sills, when I look at Hurts at the beginning of the games, he looks nervous and sick to his stomach. You mean like Donovan? He doesn't settle in until the second half. He needs to get help with playing. I get it. That's not what I said, dickbag. I said he's been to Super Bowls. Ben. This guy has shit for brains. Nice job, dickhead. Okay? Excuse me. How many Super Bowl rings does Vic Fangio own? So when I look at Hurts at the I already did this. Still waiting? How many Super Bowl rings? Oh. How many Super Bowl rings? Let's see here. Please hit the like button. By the way, massive Crow Day or Xander, please drug test Sills during the break. Jameson, please have a reality check because it's tonight. The whooping board's coming out. This just like when Sister Judith, Marguerite Judith Fish, used to take the paddle out when Big Sills was acting up in Catholic High. How many do you need for being bad, Daniel? Man, Marjorie Fish had some guns on her. Rest in peace, Sister Fish. Holy cow. Dan Sileo, please report to Sister Fish's office. Dean of Discipline. Never good. I must have broke at least 5 rulers and 2 paddles. Every time I'd come home, my grandfather would be shaking his head. They'd be shaking his head. Eduardo and I are paisans. I don't care what nationality you are. If you got a vowel at the end of your name, as far as I'm concerned, you got some Italian in you, Junior. Just to be clear, Sills has the Skins winning tonight, right? Yes. That's a good omen for us because every time he has us losing, we wind up winning. Okay? Sills, tonight's game is going to be electric. It sure is. I'm looking forward to it. Still here, Sills? Suck it, please. Jesus, Diane. Now, Diane's the kind of girl, okay, I love here in the chat. Way to go, Diane. Okay, hey, Diane, thank you. That is totally, okay? Sills, the rookie and the 5-year veteran are playing tonight. Hurts has the advantage. That might not be the case down the road, but tonight Hurts has the advantage. Yes, he does. All right? Yes, he does. All right? No, Bethany. That's not how this works. I'm not looking to be right and wrong. You know what I'm looking for, Elizabeth? I'm looking for something I predicted at the beginning of the year. You know what that is? An NFC East title for the Commanders. I predicted that. Sills, if Barkley catches the swing pass against Atlanta and Washington doesn't hit the Hail Mary against Chicago, this would be an 8-1 Eagles versus the 6-4 Commanders. We'll find out tonight, Bob. You claim prioritizing results. The Eagles are 7-2, and you've played one team, or you see two teams with a winning record. Okay? You claim to prioritize results. The Eagles are 7-2, yet you say they haven't played well. No, I said they haven't played anyone. What do the results indicate? They're getting better. They're getting better. That's what I'm saying. They're getting better. Big Sills, the media has made a big deal about Daniels using AI tools to train and get reps. Do you think this technology will be part of the future? Is it a scam or legit? I think anytime that you can get technology involved, I think that's why the players are playing a lot better and have more intel now. There's no question the way that even when you do preparations for tapes and such, that to me is a way that you're seeing a lot more intel being given to the players, and they have more of an understanding of what teams are trying to do. You see, unlike Senorita, stats and analytics help you know what teams' tendencies are and what they're doing. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, 2nd and 7. You know what a team likes to do, and you're constantly being told that with those tablets on the sideline. When those players go to the sideline, you know what they're looking at with the tablets? They're looking at trends and tendencies and numbers that Senorita doesn't understand. Okay? Quinn lost a 30-point. That's not what I said, though. Thank you and you lost a 10-point lead. Thanks for the super chat. I bet if the Eagles had won like the Commanders won the Bears game, Dan wouldn't even given us credit for the win. It would be the Eagles got lucky. Well, I mean, he's a rookie. And did they get lucky? Yes. Washington got lucky on that play. Common sense. Hail Mary, last play, throws it up 75 yards or 65 yards in the air. What were you looking at? If Jalen did that, it'd be luck. Last play, Hail Marys. There's some set of skill to it, but, I mean, it's luck. It's a lucky win. You had a lucky win against the Jags. Bad throw by Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he was driving for the game winner, and he threw a bad pass. I mean, facts. Stats is yes, it's that type of, it's modern analytics are proactive projections now with AI assistance. Probably more of a point that you made there, Bob, is true. Okay. But the problem that you have with the coaching staffs of today is one thing that you have here is that some guys like Nick Sirianni don't understand. You have to apply analytics. Analytics is not something you build a game plan around. You know, you still have to have a rhythm and a feel for the game before you can make those proclamations. I thought it was a dumb decision by Nick that kept the Jags in it. Now it's lucky interception off of a bad throw. I didn't say lucky. N'Kobe Dean made a good play. Why do you assume that, dude? I saw the game just like you. N'Kobe made a great play in the back of the end zone and was a shitty pass by Lawrence. Did you not hear me say that? What are you talking about? People assume shit. Hit the like button, guys. You guys are wonderful. Jalen Carter is going to have one of them Jerome Brown type games tonight. He's playing great football. That I will not get around. The greatness of Zack Baun and 2 sacks and 18 tackles. Hey, Lord's Grace, if I said that that's not possible for Zack Baun, I'd be crazy. But by the way, I heard those guys talking today about Zack Baun. He's 27 years old. He's out of here. I mean, dude, if he was 24 years old, 25 years old, might be a different conversation. But you know what? It's going to depend on the market. If the market is out there and he can make between $10 and $15 million, there's not a chance in hell he's coming back. And it won't be because he doesn't want to, but he's got to make financial decisions for his family because this is his last big contract he's going to ever get. And it's the only contract he'll ever have. This guy was a special teams guy. He didn't make any money. He's made no money. After taxes, what's he bringing home? $600,000? When he was a special teams guy in New Orleans, this guy he's made no money. He's making barely any money now. Think about it. He lives in Philadelphia with taxes 30%. And it was standard of living. What's he bringing home? $600,000, $700,000? Hey, in everybody's world, that's great money. But in the NFL world, if I'm making $10 to $15 million, I'm sorry, dude, that's not going to shave it for me. Reality, you're 27 years old. Okay? You're 27 years old, man. This guy's not. Okay, look. So Vinny says $600K. Well, shit, dude. I'm out. If I can make $10 to $15 million, $10 to $15 million, $10 million with 33% income tax, I'm bringing home $7 million or $6,700. Okay? Not better than $6,700 or $67,000. Do the math. I mean, this is going to be a financial thing. It's going to pull his heart apart, but if that guy continues to play, he's playing, every game he plays better, you're closer to losing him. I don't believe the Eagles are going to come up with $10 to $15 million, maybe 10 to 12. By the way, they're going to have to get close. And they have to be in the middle of 10 to 12. And I think the market could give him 12 to 15 if he could continue to play like this. And by the way, you can go to Tampa and play the same style of defense. Or you can go to San Francisco and line up next to Fred Warner and play right next to Fred Warner. San Francisco will give you the money because I don't think Greenlaw's coming back. All right? It's not the point whether he's broke. It's the point. Get this. This guy doesn't get it. You make $1.5 million. You're taking home at best with the standard of living $670,000. Nothing wrong with that. But if I play the way I'm playing now, I'm going to be offered a contract between $10 and $12 million. That means I bring 6.7 home. Dude, do the math. You're nowhere in the building. You're not even in the room. Like this guy's going to get like a 3,000% increase in pay. Okay? Get this. So get this here. Half that money is $3 million in earnings he's brought home so far. How many years has he been in the league? 6? Okay, so he's been in the league. Just to show you what this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Earnings? Okay, savings counts the most. That means it's $3 million. Then standard of living where you were in New Orleans. Not as high as it is in Philly or in some of the tax states. New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken, and Louisiana is a tax-free state. Might not be. I think it is. So this guy may have $1.2 million in the bank. I could put 6.7 in the bank next year. Okay? I can quadruple my income and my net savings. Use your brains, not your heart with this. It might just be financially unfeasible for the Eagles to keep him. Playing great, and he deserves all he gets. Will he take less? I think he would, but I think that number's got to be close. Okay? I think that number's got to be close. And by the way, they supposedly love Trotter Jr. We'll see. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Guys have been great. If that's Johnny Mack, I agree. I can't wait for the excuses from Sills when the Eagles win. Who cares what Baun made? He's going to make 10 to 12 million. Howie will sign him. Everyone said Howie wouldn't pay Barkley. Okay? Chris, you're not wrong. If they make a change and they learn from their mistakes by letting TJ Edwards out the door and they turn around and sign this guy because Vic wants him, we'll see. It would be a first. And I'm not saying that's not beneath them not to do this. So it's even money between Miami and Tampa. You take Tampa, no state income tax. Correct. Here's the states: Florida, Texas, Louisiana. Those are the Carolina. Why do you not see a lot of free agents go to San Francisco or to the Rams or to the Chargers? How come you don't see a lot of players go there? State income tax and the tax laws that you have in California. Why do more players want to play in Florida? Because you save way more of your money. It's 14% more on your money on a signing bonus. Look at Dak Prescott's signing bonus of $80 million. His $80 million in a state like California, they take half that. They'll take 40. Why? Not only did Dak get over on the fact that he got a great signing bonus, but he was in Texas. It plays a factor. And when you're in a state like Pennsylvania and you're in a city like Philly, you get city tax too for entertainment. And when you have to go to Detroit and play, you get union taxes. Do you know nowadays that when I played against Detroit, my check that week was lighter because you know why? They had these really weird out-of-state tax codes that they have. How many free agents have you actually seen? Remember, Jared Goff was a trade. How many free agent signings have you seen in Detroit that were big money signs? How many? Most of the stuff is trades. Nobody goes to Detroit because of the unions and because they sucked. That all plays how an agent and a financial broker deals with players today. They want to make the most and maximize the most for players. I mean, it's common sense. So, I heard the guys talking. Hey, Zack Baun really likes Philly. I don't like it that much. $670,000 I'm taking home versus $6.7 million. I don't like you that much, man. Sorry. That's not going to work. That's just not. No, well, it's still, dude, he'll go to Tampa or Carolina or Texas, the Texans, and play for DeMeco Ryans. You want me to give you a Zack Baun comment? Zack Baun will pick teams like Carolina, Jacksonville, Tampa, Miami, the Texans, or the Cowboys. Those are your state free income tax states. I didn't understand. Tennessee also dirty D, yes. Tennessee would be something I'd look at. Right. That's what you're fighting with Zack Baun. Him playing great football and money. Every game he plays like that is going to be an interesting conversation at the end of the year. Maybe you start the conversation now, seeing what throw a lure out, see what he bites on, and see what his agent bites on. Sills, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, and Nevada, and Washington State are the only states which have NFL teams. Play in Philly, you live in New Jersey, like most, which is high taxes too. Okay? I mean, Bob, if you live in New Jersey, those are insane income taxes too. So what I would do if I was Howie right now with Zack Baun, I'd throw a line out, see what he bites on. See what his agent's going to bite on. Throw an $8 million line out. If they laugh at it, they might not laugh at it. I'll tell you what. Someone find out for me if he's married. Okay, if he's married. If somebody threw an $8 million line out for me and I had been bringing home $600,000-$700,000 a year, and I had a chance and there was an $8 million number out there, it'd be hard pressed for me to look at my agent and go, hey, why don't we wait? What do you mean wait? What if I hurt myself in the Washington game tonight? If I hurt myself in the Washington game tonight, guess what? It's over for me. I'm not kidding. Senor says that Baun is married. This old lady's going to look at him and go, they just threw you an $8 million 3-year contract per $8 million a year, and you're going to pass on that? What if you get hurt in the Ravens game? That's over with. I mean, to me, negotiating-wise, you can't negotiate by just going, well, let's see what happens at the end of the year, especially if the guy ends up with 165 tackles and he ends up making the all-pro team. If Zack Baun makes the third-team all-pro team or second-team all-pro and he has 160 tackles and you guys make it to the NFC Championship game, you're not going to pay him. So what I would do is I'd throw a line out, $8 million. It's under the market value. But he's never made that. And it's kind of close to 10. Hey, Zach, here's an 8-year annual deal for 3 seasons with incentives in there too. You sign it, see what happens. He might bite on that. But if he goes out and performs the way he's performing, what if that guy puts a stat line up like this? 150 tackles, 6 sacks, 3 picks, and he led the defense to an NFC championship and a number 2 ranking defensively. And he's been flying around. What if he has a game tonight like he did against the Packers and he has 15 tackles tonight? His agent will go like this. You might want to bet on yourself. But again, you got family obligations. Now, this is something else too. Howie's going to come to him and go, as an organization, you have to go like this. Hey, are you sure he's not a one-year wonder like Bryce Huff? Bryce Huff is going to make you pause there in Philly. Get this about Bryce Huff. I heard the guys talking about Bryce Huff today. Robert Saleh knew exactly who he was. Joe Douglas knew exactly who he was. They knew exactly what he had. They knew exactly what he was going to bring. They knew if he ended up playing more reps, he would be a dog. And that's why they let him walk out the building. Robert Saleh helped build that 49er defense. He knew exactly what he was. And he knew Reddick was the better player. That's why they made the play, Joe Douglas and them, to go get him and make the trade for him and allow Huff to walk. That told you all you needed to know at the beginning of the year. Howie paid $17 million for a kid that everyone in New York knew was never going to be the player that Howie wanted him to be because he walked right out the building. They should have took more of an understanding of Robert Saleh knowing defensive talent. I mean, the head coach was and is a heck of a defensive coach. He's the assistant now, or he's a consultant now in Green Bay. So he knows how to build defenses. And he knew who Bryce Huff was. And that's why they let him walk out the building. And get this, he exactly was the guy the Jets thought he was and is. They knew exactly when they let him walk. That guy will never be a 3-down guy. Get this, Alex Hunt's more of a 3-down guy than what Bryce Huff will ever be. Bryce Huff will never be good. On what you're asking him to do, he'll never be a player. Vic knows this. It's an $18 million mistake. Okay? $18 million, $17.5 or $4 million mistake. And get this. The project kid's getting more reps on first and second down. Oh, he's got a cast on his hand. I saw Hassan Reddick play the first 4 games with a cast. No excuses. That's a bullshit made-up thing that they did there when they said that. Okay? Guys don't play with casts? Really? Especially defenders? They don't play with cast. Really? Okay. Well, I disagree with that. I mean, It's just excuses. Honestly, Slills, win or lose, I can't wait for the postgame show between you and McMullen. Make him walk off the set again. Come on, man. That's not my objective, dude. You see, I'm more of a cerebral type guy. I kind of like, I like to have debate, conversation, Okay? That 17 million could have been for Baun. That 17 million could have been. Well, no, it couldn't have been for Brian Burns because Burns got 25, right, Senor? And a 3 and a 5 or a 2 and a 5. I can't remember what New York had to give up for him, for Brian Burns. I think it was 25 annual and maybe a 2 and a 5 that they gave up for Brian Burns. But the 17 million, I mean, they got to figure out how to get out from under that contract. 8 to 10 million offer now. See if he bites. Forrest, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I happen to agree with you. I'm a Waker you. If you remember right, the Rams offered 2 number ones and a 4th-round pick for Brian Burns, and Carolina didn't bite on it. Carolina is so inept on moving people, they ended up getting a new general manager in Dan Morgan, who I talk to frequently. I mean, they didn't even get a 1st-rounder for Christian McCaffrey. So for Christian McCaffrey and Brian Burns, you let walk out your building for no 1st-rounders? It's on you, man. 47, 55 million in cap next year. Braun will be back. Never happened. It's not that they don't have the money, dude. It's that they don't pay it. Yes, he's a Miami guy. How he gets the deal done early. Did it with Sweat, Malata, and Devontae. It's not the point. It's does he want to? They don't value that position. Now, to someone's point earlier, they said this. They didn't really value the running back position. Could that change? And could they have learned from losing Kaiser White? And could they have learned that from losing TJ? Remember what I told you, man? That time that we're talking here, I mean, you guys always said, I thought Kaiser was a good player, and he was a good player. He had 117 tackles. He had another guy with 159. Okay? I mean, theoretically, you had 276 tackles between 2 dudes. And this is the first year you look like you've replaced that. 23, you didn't replace it. It was Streetwalkers linebacker group of guys. It was just Streetwalkers. So, again, this is a big night tonight. Hey, by the way, I wrote this down. This is a money game tonight. This is the money game. Here, I'll tell you who the money game for. Here it is. Funny, we had that topic here too. Here's the money games tonight. Zack Baun. Zack Baun tonight has 12, 13 tackles tonight. Every general manager around the NFL is going to be going like this. That guy's a top 5, top 10 candidate for linebacker. And it's just going to be what happens by the end of the year and what his final numbers are going to be and how much that guy's going to make. I think he'll probably get a 2 to 3 year contract, 2 year with an option. And he's going to be a significant player. Mekhi Becton. If Mekhi Becton and that team runs for 255 yards tonight, and that guy's playing guard, and he's blowing people off the ball, and that rush defense tonight, which is 28th in the league, and that guy ends up knocking people out tonight, Mekhi Becton is going to make between $15 and $20 million. Okay? I mean, he's going to, think about it. Andre Dillard 2 years ago got an $11 million annual deal from Tennessee. This guy's 10 times better of a player. So if this guy gets out there and they run the ball tonight, he can play left tackle. He can play right guard. Health is it's never really been an issue for him when it comes to ability. It's been whether or not he could stay healthy. This is a money game for him tonight. Dude, seriously, Eagles run for 250 plus tonight. Is that guy going to make some money? How about this one? Milton Williams has 2 sacks tonight, and he's a force in the middle, and they can't stop him. And he's pressuring the quarterback tonight. He gets 2 sacks tonight. You're looking at a guy that might command $10 million in the open market. Is how are we going to sign him? You got to worry about Jordan Davis. 5th-year options coming up. Sills, I only like Birds 365. McAfee and here, would you rather pay Sweat and Baun and Becton and Baun and Sweat? And by the way, Nick, thank you that you like Birds 365, Pat McAfee. I love Pat McAfee, and you come here for us. Really cool, Nick, especially with the way people back in the day with radio and such, you come here now. We so appreciate that. All super chats too. And by the way, thank you again for the super chats here too. Guys, I posted something. I want you to know something. Okay? I posted something on my Twitter page. I am really starting to fall in love with the Philadelphia sports fans. Okay? I mean, I don't know if I've ever loved the fan base or liked the fan base more. That includes the Bucks, maybe the Canes, but the Canes are weird. They bitch and don't show up to games. Okay? Honest to God. You know, hey, I bitched to you about your Birds. And we go back and forth because you know why? This is like my dinner table. My aunt has to remember that. Okay? I was raised like this. And so are many of you in here. Okay? Honest to God, I'm not kidding. I have never fallen in love with a fan base more than this. Because you're so much like me. Emotional, prideful, doesn't want anyone talking shit to him. I mean, Xander made a point one day. Hey, Sills, how can you hate AJ? He's you. Right? I'm like, okay, enough. I think I'm about ready to throw up. Hey, Milton Williams, are you signing? If Milton Williams has a great year, there's a $10 million guy. Isaiah Rodgers, probably be able to keep that dude. Okay? Probably be able to keep that guy. I'd love to hear you, Sills. This is how I want someone that covers the Birds to talk. Because I talk like you. Hey, John, are you from Philly? If you're from Philly, this is how people talk to you daily. Why wouldn't I? Right? Why wouldn't I? I'd be a fraud. Hey, watch this. Sills struggles to read some of the super chats. Sills is, he's got these wild-ass takes and thought processes and how he sees the game. So do you. What makes me any different than you? You're just on the other side of the mic. We're no different. I've never pretended to be. He and the D are going to have a great night tonight. Love the way they're playing. Very fast, great tackling, and youth. Okay? Sills, you think the Jets missed Becton? Hey, Cosmo, I think they missed this version of Becton. Yes. Sills, how we can leverage the home team situation on Baun, but by front-loading the contract on a 4-year deal, it'll be 31. They're good at the 2. That's what his forte is. You are one of us regardless of our disagreements. Man, I love Anthony. Gives me a ton of shit every day. I love people like that. I can't tell you. Hey, I think there's one thing that we've all learned here. And if you're new to it, please, you have to understand. If you're new to it, you can't be too sensitive. I'm a sensitive person. I know that. There, see? I admitted something. Princess's brain, Sills says, Sills' brain is always downloading. Yes. Always downloading intel. Yes. Always downloading intel that Prince is a dick. Yeah. Come on, Prince, say it. Yeah. It's refreshing to have a host that doesn't kiss the Eagle fan ass. I'm a diehard 54-year-old fan. I appreciate he's real. Go Birds. Chris, we're just doing the radio the way it used to be, or broadcasting the way. There it goes. You're very sensitive. Shut up. I just did it. Okay, enough. Yeah, yes, flexing. You're right. You're right. You're right. Thank you. Here's one of my boys. How do you see that flexing says about you? You're right, pal. And Jay, I swear to God, unlike Mark Holmes, I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to go fishing. I don't know when, but that's going to happen, dog. I promise you, because you've been here since day one. Okay? Mark Holmes, yeah, Xander said I was going to lie to him. So I had to tell him the truth. I had to end the lie. That I was going, yeah. This is what Xander said. You ain't going to the Cowboy game. You know, I got a ticket. I got a round trip ticket, first class for you. Unlike Crossing Broads, you know, I got a first class ticket for this guy still hanging on my chalkboard. He didn't show up. Xander's wait. Where the hell is this guy? You ain't going there. I watched yesterday's show late. I'm glad you got a fourth shirt. Shut up, deep. Shut up, deep coochie. Deep coochie. Hey, coochie. Thank you. Do you think Howie has tried to extend? Not yet. No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. I stood up for Mark Holmes because you know why? I really did. There was a part of me with empathy. Hey, Coochie. I didn't realize your name was Coochie. Wait, is it Cochise or is it Coochie? I'm sorry, man. What is did I? Hey, wait, is it Coochie? Deep fried Coochie? Is that what it is? Or Conchi? Or I don't know what the hell I'm saying now. Deep fried Coochie. Sills, you turn this hour to a circle. Yeah, and you're right in the middle of it, too. Way to go, Lucius. Lucius goes like this. Sills, you turn this thing into a circle jerk here in an hour. Well, you're in the middle of it. Congratulations to you, kid. Welcome aboard. All right. Here are the top 10 commanders. By the way, that Eagle fanboy is going to be with us at the bottom of the hour. Xander Krause, the co-host of Birds 365, and also the pregame host and postgame, halftime, and also our legendary fan interaction post will be with us. That'll be at the bottom of the hour. Jason Cole will talk about tonight's big matchup tonight. Some great games this weekend in the NFL. That'll be at 4:30. Just a personal note for you guys and a programming note. Herm Edwards, who recruited and Jaden Daniels played for at Arizona State, will join us tomorrow. We don't have a time yet, but former Eagle, Herm Edwards, is going to join us. That'll be tomorrow on a post-game type of national football show on Friday. So we'll get him here. All right. Here I ranked the top 10 commanders. I heard John McMullen say that the Commanders really don't have a lot of talent. I kind of disagree with that. I do think they have talent. I think they got talent in the coaching staff too. Guys, please hit the like button. I appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget the pregame show tonight. You play to win the games. Absolutely. All right. Hold on here. What is Andreas saying here? Xander, what do you got to do to get Corona Sills on the post game? I'm on the post game. Oh, the post game. Wait a minute. Andreas. I don't know. YouTube, he says, I love cocaine. It was not a good name, so I changed it to Coochie. Sills, I want Howie to trade for Dexter Lawrence. That guy is right now. Okay, that guy right now is the best interior defensive tackle in the league, and I don't think it's very close. I like the guy in Tennessee, though, too. I think he's really good. Okay? Hey, James. James, do me a favor. Real quick, if you can. Write down your top 5 current Washington Commanders. Okay? Write down your Washington Commanders top 5 players. Okay? I think that's what makes our network great. Do you want to sound like WHIP? Who wants to sound like WHIPASS? I mean, everyone sounds the same. It sounds like you're in a mental ward. Isn't that the same thing? Isn't that the same medicine I'm hearing every show? Sounds like the same shit. It sounds like the same shit. When I listen to WIP, it sounds like the same shit. Okay? The coach is great. I'll give him an A+. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, Brian Robinson. I really do like that Brian Robinson kid. Late tune-in. I'm PNW fan, Sills. Soft and empathetic with Cowboy fans. What the hell am I listening to? Who gave Sills the Xanax? I don't do drugs. Me on drugs? Okay, I don't do drugs. Do you wonder why? Are you crazy, man? I don't do drugs. Kumbaya moment. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Watch this. Hey, Jersey. I'm sorry. I should know better. Hey, I'm sorry. You're right. All right, here's my top 10 Commanders. I'll go from 10 up. Hey, you guys are going to sleep on a guy tonight to keep an eye on. Hey, and James Jones, educate these guys. Dude, Austin Ekeler's on pace for 600 yards rushing right now and around 400 yards receiving. And he's going to have around 12 touchdowns this year. Austin Ekeler's a good football player, and he's been a really good addition to that team. He's a guy that is part of that passing offense and part of moving the sticks. He's a good football player. Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore's out. I didn't really think that they were going to have him ready anytime soon because he's been hurt all year down in New Orleans. Seal's being real soft today. Guess he needed a hug. From who? You? Okay. I'd rather have a street bum hug me. Coochie. Eckler's a good player. Okay. Here, I'll tell you this. Austin Ekeler, hey, Coochie. Austin Ekeler is the guy you're hoping Will Shipley turns into. Hey, James, right? You're hoping Will Shipley becomes a player like Austin Ekeler. 500-600 yards rushing, 300 yards receiving, around 8 to 10 touchdowns, something like that. Hey, he's done that pretty much his entire career. I want to show you how good he is because, again, a lot of you haven't been watching this coaching or this new roster that Washington has put together. And so just to look at what you're looking at tonight, I ranked this guy the 10th best. I ranked him the 10th best Washington Commander. And here's what he's done in his time. Most of this obviously was when he was with the Chargers. And he's a really good football player. I like him a lot. He's 29 years old. But check this out. Rushing, 554, 557. Look at these touchdowns in the last 4 years. 12, 13, 6, and 4 rushing. Now his receiving is absolutely great. I mean, take a look at this. I don't think you guys realize this. James, tell these guys here again. This is the 10th. When John says that there's not a lot of talent on that Washington team, you tell me if you like these numbers. Since 2019, here's Austin Ekeler, 1,550 total yards, 1,033 total yards, 1,558 total yards, 1,637 total yards, 1,064 total yards. Last year, 589, he only played in 9 games. I think that had a lot to do with a contract holdout. But if you think about it, this guy's got 9,000 career total yards from scrimmage. He's a good football player. Still someone to keep an eye on tonight. Again, just another weapon that they have. Why did Harbaugh not want to keep Austin Ekeler in San Diego? LA Chargers, you mean? But I get your point. I don't know. I think it had a lot to do with the family not wanting to pay him the money, and they didn't want to pay a running back. I think the Spanoses didn't want to pay him. I mean, they were talking about $500,000 or $600,000. I think it had a lot to do with that. Always Sunny. It's a very cheap organization. I could make the argument that the Spanos family is the second cheapest organization to the Brown family in Cincinnati. One Shipley to be like Ekeler at worst, Marshall Faulk at best. Right. Hey, dude, but Lucius, Austin Ekeler is a 13, 14, 1,500-yard guy from scrimmage every year. You wouldn't want that on your offense? I mean, he's a good football player. I got Brian Robinson Jr., number 9. He's a really good runner. I like this kid. Believe it or not, somebody from Bama panning out. Number 8, Zach Ertz. I got him at tight end. Zach's on pace for 650. Like it. Jeremy Chin, strong safety, on pace for 120 tackles. He's a good football player. Oh, holy cow. Is this another Bama guy? Believe it or not, it is. Deron Payne, defensive tackle. I got him 6th. Number 5, Dante Fowler, Jr., strong side linebacker. I believe this tool's a Gator. So you'll have to excuse me, but yeah, I got him in my top 5. He's a Gator. I got Frankie Louvu, man, who's having a really good year. I'll tell you this, there's no question that the 2 best linebacking cores tonight in the NFC East will be playing tonight. Frankie Louvu is having a really good year. Number 3, I have Jaden Daniels as the 3rd best player on the Commanders. I got Bobby Wagner 2nd, and I got Scary Terry number 1. McLaurin number 1, Wagner 2, Daniels 3, Louva 4, Dante Fowler Jr., that Gator 5, Payne 6, Chin 7, Ertz 8, Robinson 9, and Austin Ekeler 10. There's some good football players on that team. They got some good players, man. And the coaching staff is outstanding. I mean, you're going to do a lot of good things here tonight. But we shall find out who's the fraud or who's the reality guy tonight. This is called Crow Day. You understand that? Oh, by the way, not Crawdad Day. Crow Day. Either Sills will be eating crow or I'll be doing this. Don't ever in a million years, ever try to contradict Sills. Who thought that the Washington Commander, you know what Xander said to me at the beginning of the year? I with that Commander pick. Here we are fighting out for the NFC East lead tonight. And with that being said, the man, hey, this morning, man, I thought I was watching the pregame show on the Eagle Network, listening to these guys talking. I thought it was the pregame Eagle Network there, and Bob Lang was in the back going like this. Ruben, and then John. Hey, Ruben, with that being said, let's bring in the co-host of Birds 365, my guy, Xander Big Krause.
What up, Big Sills?
How you doing, brother? You got me jacked tonight, man.
What kind of introduction was that?
What's wrong with that? Eagle hat, everything ready to rock. You ready to rock, bro? I got you. You think the Commanders are frauds? I got it.
I never uttered the Commanders.
You said that you go like this. I don't believe in them. I don't think they're who they think they are.
Well, you're acting like you're acting like they're perennial Super Bowl. So
are you acting like the Birds are?
Well, they've done a lot more than the Commanders have.
That defense has not. It's a brand new group. That group, it's a brand new group. The coordinators even
they're playing a lot better than that Commanders group. The defense on the Commanders is brutal.
Oh, get this. So here's what Xander just said that's brutal. He says that the defense is brutal this year with the Washington Commanders. That could be further from the truth because that's not how they've played this year so far. They are not brutal. As a matter of
fact, too good, Sills.
What?
They're 28th or 29th against the
run.
They're
29th in one efficiency. They're 4th in pass defense, and they're 10th in total defense. That's not brutal, dude.
They're not that good against
pass. They're 4th in run defense.
Their Commanders are their cornerbacks are burnt toast.
Dude, here are the numbers here. Because once again, Big Sills, truth, justice.
I love when Big Sills becomes a statistician.
No. It's not stats. It's trends, my friend. It's trends. Know the difference. It's
game day, Big Sills. You're not going to fool me with stats, are you?
Here we go right here. Total offense. Washington's 4th. Total defense, they're 14th. Run offense, they're 4th in rush offense. By the way, all supers will be red. Pass defense, they are 5th in pass defense. Scoring defense, they're 11th. That sucks. You're hanging on one. Now, dude, stopping the run is a big deal. That's a huge thing in tonight's game when you're going against the second best rushing attack.
Yeah, they trade
your passing attack doesn't frighten the 4th best pass defense. You're 21st.
They traded for Marshawn Lattimore literally.
And they don't need him, and they're still 4th.
What's that?
They didn't need him. They're still 4th.
Oh, my God. You and the stats. It's unbelievable.
It's not stats. It's trends on what they've done this year.
Yeah, but every time I point out an Eagles trend, you deny it for some reason.
No. What? Here's the trend. They've run the ball more, and I love Johnny Mack today. It's not really sustainable that, they've pulled back on passing the ball. Well, they pulled back on passing the ball because the quarterback is inconsistent at it. Like I've been saying.
James Jones, you traded a 3rd for a tender hammy.
Hey, James Jones, they traded a 3rd for a stiff in Dawson.
Lattimore's got a tender hammy. I don't think he's going to be back. Lattimore might play 45% of the games in his career in Washington.
Oh, then he'll be right there on the same side of Bryce Huff.
Well,
what are you doing?
I've already admitted defeat with Bryce Huff. You're not burning me there.
The other two guys are trying to hang in there. You were like, nah, man, that ship has sailed.
Yeah, that ship is gone. That ship has left the dock, my friend.
All right, Xander, what do you see tonight, man? What do you think the keys are tonight?
I think the keys to that no-holes defense, all jokes aside, I think that defense has to have a big game, get some stops, set the edges, create some different looks for Jaden Daniels, and get him off his game. I mean, he's a rookie. This guy hasn't seen that much in the NFL. I know he's good. I know he's a talented player, obviously, but I think Vic Fangio's really got to throw some different looks at him. And like I said yesterday, I don't anticipate him blitzing like crazy tonight. That's not.
You think they'll go 5-man front tonight, like Pittsburgh?
I think they could. Yeah, I think they definitely could. Because I think when you take that running attack out of the game and force Jay, and especially, I mentioned yesterday, you got to set the edges because Jaden. I mean, you can load up a 5-man front all you want. If Jaden's going to escape the pocket, he's going to do the same thing that Jalen Hurts used to do to teams, and that's just gash you in the running game. So you got to set the edges, and that's why I wonder how much Bryce Huff's going to play tonight because he struggled at setting the edge. So. We'll see, but I think that's going to be the big key.
15 reps tonight.
The reason I'll push back on you is because I don't think this is going to be a blowout game. So maybe there's more passing snaps,
Yeah, but I fear Hurts and Daniels in the perimeter more than I do in their passing game. And to me,
I do too.
Because
and they were playing. That's why
those two guys on 3rd down are going to watch this. You know, it's something to watch tonight. Who is better on 3rd down tonight when they run the ball and when they pull it down and run? Hurts is so skilled at that. I mean, he just snaps your back when you – dude, seriously, it's like Big Sills carrying a freezer up a stairs. Believe me, my back is killing me now. That right there is – I mean, he just breaks your back, dog. I mean –
Yeah, no, he does. It's going to be – dude, I'm excited, though. It's going to be a hell of a game tonight with these two teams. I know it's – when you're an Eagle fan, it's always fuck the Commanders, but – I'm excited that they're good, honestly, because it's like I want a good division. It makes great football. It makes your team better. I think it makes everything better. Now I want to beat them, but I'm excited that they have a good thing going. Now we can have at least a good good rivalry every year
Yeah.
in battle. I think Jalen Hurts versus Jaden Daniels, that's a great rivalry right there. I mean, this could be the start of the next couple of years and really take the torch from, I guess you could say, Dak versus Jalen, which didn't happen much. Dak never played. Jalen didn't play in a couple of those games, but
I'm out on
exciting, man. Tonight's gonna be a big game. I'm more jacked up for this game than any other game this year.
I think it's great to see Washington back, because what it does is, I think, not to put words in your mouth here, but it accentuates the NFC East, because the NFC East is the, do you understand, Xander, that the NFC East is the Tiffany of the divisions in the NFL? You know why? It's the biggest cities in the country in one division, and every team in that division, think about it, has won a Super Bowl. Every single team in the NFC East.
Is that the only division you can say
it's
that
the
about?
only division that has a Super Bowl champion in every single franchise. So, I mean, look, it's New York, it's Philly, it's DC, it's Dallas, Texas. I mean, you have gigantic supermarkets there with fans. And to see Washington back, who hasn't been good since 97, it's really great, man. I mean, dude, that rivalry back in the day between Washington and the Eagles was fabulous. Fabulous, man.
Yeah.
That's a 3-time Super Bowl champion franchise, the Redskins.
No, yeah, they're a good franchise. I mean, should be good. We'll see. Like I said, I want to see them do it a little more, but it does certainly look like they have the makings of a team that could be around a little bit. We'll see on Jaden Daniels, but he does look good. I was watching tape of him last night and this morning after the show. He's good. He's not to be taken lightly. He's definitely a good player, but we'll see. I think right now, I still think we're the better team. I think we're going to be too much for them to handle tonight.
Are you sure you're the better roster?
I'm pretty sure we're the better roster.
Yeah, that doesn't translate always into being a better team.
Oh no, it doesn't. But I think we're the better team.
That's
too
what
right
we
now.
find out. Okay, so going into tonight, you're looking at it like we got the better players, man. Now we're going to find out if we have a
better team. I think we're the better team. I mean, we have a 3-year run here of winning a lot of football games. I'm not saying that means you're going to win tonight, but I'm talking about what we've built is something that's been here longer than just 9 games or 10 games, or whatever. They're 7-3. And by the way, I think it was Bob Brown in the chat. I think it was Bob. Bob, if it wasn't you, sorry. And if I said it wrong, you can put in the chat who it was that said this, but. Would you view this game differently right now if Saquon didn't drop that pass and we were 8-1 and the Commanders didn't get lucky on that Hail Mary and they were 6-4?
No, because I don't look at Ravens because the Ravens got beat by the Browns and say that they're not one of the top 2 teams in the AFC.
That's fair.
I don't look at it like that. I look at what that team looks like right now to me. I think they're suspect on defense. I'm talking Ravens, which is kind of crazy. But it's funny you say that, since the 1-7 meltdown of a year ago and the 7-2 start this year, the Eagles are 8-9. So when they say that they've been winning a lot of football games over the last 17 ball games, a full season. Let's see what
1-7 last year, 1-6. I mean,
counting the playoffs.
What'd they go at the end of last year? 1-6.
1-7.
Was it 1-7?
Yeah.
I thought
with the playoff loss.
I thought we were 10. Yeah, we were 10-2, right?
11-6. Oh, were you 10-2? Okay. So
I forget exactly what it was. I know we lost a lot of football games though in a row.
Okay, so you're 8-8.
Yeah.
And again, the reason I bring that up is because you're new, and there's a lot of new components with the Eagles this year, Xander. I mean, new coordinators. A different set of scheme. I'm not saying it's not working right now because it is.
All your shit talk today. What was your score, by the way?
Let me see here. 28-26. Skins.
All the talk you had today. I put out my score this morning on Birds 365.
Let me guess, 62-14.
I also tweeted it out there. And you're making me want to predict a bigger win for the Eagles because I haven't bought one thing you're selling on this game. You have what, 20? I have 28-24 Eagles. I thought that was a solid score, and then I'm
28-24. You said,
yeah, Eagles.
Okay.
John had 34-24. Eagles.
Eagles scored 34 points on Dan Quinn tonight. No way.
That's why I had 28. I mean, I didn't think they were going to crack into the 30s.
No way. No way.
I think it's going to be more. Look, I don't really care, honestly, about the stats.
I think the Eagles have a shot. If they do what I'm going to ask you next here, they do this.
But wait, real quick. I don't really care much about the stats tonight because it's given me one of those games where I'm like, it's a division rivalry.
That's right.
It's old school NFC East football.
Right.
It's Commanders Eagles on prime time.
That's right.
Fuck the running stats, but whatever they are, throw them out the window. Go out there and win by any means necessary.
Go play some ball.
So exactly. I'm not trying to get all caught up in they stink at running, so we're gonna do this. Like, let's see how it plays out tonight. The Eagles have to have a sound, good game plan. Players have to play good. Jalen Hurts cannot turn the ball. If we start turning the ball over tonight, if we have a Jalen Hurts turnover game tonight, our chances to win this game are gonna fall in the tubes really quick. So he's got to play clean football tonight. And by the way, A.J. Brown has absolutely dismantled this team the last couple of times he's played them. Dismantled.
Has he? Good.
Ruined.
117 score versus 110. It's like these games have been close the last whatever.
Yeah.
So he's had good games against them?
I mean, AJ specifically. He's had huge games. Remember, he had the one catch in the touchdown in the end zone with his hand, and then he had the one play or the one catch over the middle of the field. He took it 50 yards. Yak. He's had some big games.
Here's my prediction tonight: Jaden Daniels versus Jalen Hurts tonight.
Yeah,
okay?
Let's go.
I have Jaden Daniels tonight, 21 of 34, 275, 3 touchdowns and a pick.
Never
62
happened.
rushing.
Never
1
happened.
touchdown. For 337 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Never happened. Three touchdown passes and 275 in the air.
Overrated in some situations tonight. We'll find out.
This guy's completing nearly 50% of his passes in his last 4 or 5 games.
And you're completing about 100% of your passes in the last 5 shit games. When I play against the Steelers and Mike Tomlin, I heard that guy on Today with you guys. He goes like this, 50%. Well, that's exactly the number that they held Kirk Cousins to, too.
I'm going to add a second throw to the plate tomorrow.
Get this. Here is my prediction for Wishbone. 14 to 25. For one, you laugh at the 25 attempts? That's what they've been doing.
I'm not laughing at the 25 attempts. All of a sudden now he's going to be a 55% completion percentage guy. He's a 70% plus this year. 153.
Oh, you're going against the best pass defense you have in the last 6 weeks. So,
oh my God, dude, this pass defense is not good.
150. Yeah, your pass defense too. Who you played against? Jamar Chase? Yes. The rest, bums.
Dude, why are you reading the stat? This pass defense is not good.
This is that defense. That's not true. The rush defense isn't.
Their passing defense is not good
They're
either.
Fourth.
Okay, they're missing dudes in the secondary. They got nobody in the secondary.
Lattimore hasn't played.
Who's covering AJ tonight? Emmanuel Forbes.
You're 4th in pass defense. That's for 9 games.
What's that dude's name? Benjamin St. Just or something? Fuck those dudes, man. None of those dudes fear me.
Here's Wishbone. 14 to 25, 153, a touchdown and 2 picks, 15 rushing, 53 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns for a total of 206, 3 TDs total, and 2 turnovers. That's what I got tonight. Dan Quinn shuts the door on this guy tonight.
I'll give him like 230 passing tonight for Hurts, probably another 60, 70 on the ground. 3 or 4 touchdowns, a couple push touchdowns maybe in there.
Really?
Yeah. I think Saquon could have a big day here too, depending on how the game starts. I said one of my other keys was if there's ever a game to start fast on offense, it's this game. Get on the board early, put this team on their heels. I mean, if you start out with a couple 3 and outs, this
you make it a 4th quarter game.
Well, what you also do is you let the Commanders run their offense however they want to run it. I mean. And you don't want to do that, especially the rookie quarterback. You want to put him against the wall, make him, force him to beat you through the air, force him to be great to beat you. And I'm not convinced yet he can do that. I'm predicting 2 picks tonight.
Well, how many passing yards
for Jalen Hurts? I said like 230.
Okay, what about for Jaden?
Probably in the same range, 230 to 250, somewhere in there.
That's his average.
Maybe more. Maybe you're right because they'll be behind all game, so he'll have to throw to get back into it. It'll be like a Dak Prescott feel.
That's because the Eagles
where the Cowboys lose by like 30, and they're like, "Oh, at least Dak
listen to this guy talking like the Eagles
50 yards." Man,
listen to this guy talking like the Eagles start fast.
Oh no, they do not. They do not start fast. They are not good at that this year.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, did they score a touchdown in the first quarter tonight?
Yes, I think they will. They will continue that trend that they picked up last week.
Oh, 1-game trend. I got it. It's
One
okay.
game trend.
2-game trend. I got it. Okay. All right. So, what do we got? Around 42 rushing attempts tonight? Dude, if you do 42 rushing attempts, you might run them off the board.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you get down in this game, you're not going to end up with that many rushing attempts. But I do think they got to keep a balanced approach. I think they got to run on this team because it's going to open everything up. And this is the type of team you want to run on because you know how it is. When you're getting run on, there's nothing worse as a defense when you cannot stop the run.
It's a sinking ship.
Yeah. So I think it's. 40 seems like a lot, but it's been where they've been the last 5 weeks. So maybe. I mean, look, if we get the lead early, get ready because we'll be giving away a Saquon jersey. I think he'll be running all over this team. But if you get that, I think that first quarter, man, is going to be crucial because it's either going to set the Commanders' game plan or it's going to set our game plan. If we get the lead early, we are in the driver's seat. We can run Saquon, keep a balanced approach, keep the attempts down for Jalen Hurts, let him, build his way into the game. Let him gash him when necessary with his runnings, and I think it's going to be in our hands. But if the Commanders take that early lead, all of a sudden they can play the offense that they want to play, force us to beat them through the air, and it becomes a different ball game. So that first quarter is going to be big, man. I'm excited for that first quarter.
How about the game winner by Zach Hurts in the back of the end zone tonight?
I can't rule that out, man. Zach Hurts is a clutch player.
Dude, he's still good. He's got, with a good quarterback, he's still a really good player, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's not primetime Zach, but he's good. I mean, look, he had that big catch last week for the Commanders, and I thought that was a shitty spot, that they didn't give him at the end. Now, maybe it wasn't a first down, but it certainly looked like it was closer than a yard or half a yard.
I would have thought Dan Quinn would have at least tried to take a timeout.
I think it was after the 2 minutes. They wouldn't they can't challenge it.
Okay,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
okay.
So that was whatever.
So you don't think that Vic brings pressure on the kid tonight?
I think he does what he always does. I think he does, 20 to 25%, somewhere in there. He's a 22, 23% blitzer, and he's pretty consistent on that, dude, regardless of who you're playing. So I don't think he's going to go off that number. Like I said, I think he's going to try and mess with Jaden in the way way his coverages are in the secondary, big nickel, dime packages, whatever he wants to do to give him different zone looks and throw him off his game. Maybe he teases a blitz with Baun, then drops him back, something like that. I don't think he's going to bring a ton of pressure on Jaden. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just not Vic Fangio's game. He's normally right in that range of 20 to 22% blitzing, and he doesn't go off it much. And that's exactly what he is on this year. It's what he was last year. It's what he was for most of his career. So I don't anticipate him going to bring the house like Pittsburgh did.
This game is going to be a challenge for Jalen Hurts tonight. Why do you think it's going to be a challenge?
Well, because I think Dan Quinn's a good coordinator, a good defensive mind, and good. Well, they might force him to throw the ball. Is that what you're getting at?
The two inside backers are the most experienced linebackers to be in the middle of that zone that he has seen. And throwing across the middle, Xander, let me tell you something. He's a lot like Jonathan Vilma is Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner knows how to go guys into turnovers. And that kid Louvu, man, I think you said it, or maybe
he's
John,
really good.
Somebody wanted him in Philly when he was a free agent in Carolina. Wanted him to be one of the guys that they targeted because I didn't realize how good a ball player he was. But their interior linebackers, the one thing that they do better than what Philly does, they cover. And they cover well. Even Wagner at 34. Dude, if you tune the tape on and watch him play, he's playing like he did 5 years. Last year he was on the All-Pro team.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to play that physical position at 34 and still be that good. It is impressive. But none of their linebackers are better in coverage than the greatness of Zack Baun, baby. The number 2 ranked coverage linebacker in the NFL.
And the number 1 prospect in next year's free agency, and you guys will have to do this. He's a 1-year thank you and see you later. Because I'll tell you what I would do, and I said it earlier, I'd throw the hook out right now because, look, dude, that guy's bringing home $670,000. You throw that $8 million hook at, you know what you're going to get? Hey, honey, can you sit down at the dinner table here? They're offering you $8 million a year for the next 3 years per year. True. What if you get hurt in a Baltimore game? If thing's over with. You're not going to get that contract. Me, I'm 27. If I'm 24, I'm not hearing that. If I'm 27, This is my
it.
last deal. Yeah. My wife's in my ear. I'm married. I've only brought home $670,000 a year because of the standard of living.
No, he got 1.6, but you're right. After taxes, he's probably
okay. I could bring home 6, 7. Hey, dog. Welcome to Philly, man. I give you to throw the lure out. Wouldn't you throw it out right now to see if he bid on it?
I wouldn't be surprised if they already did throw it out. Now, whether he takes it is a whole nother question. But, you know, you got to remember, he's got an agent in his ear like, yo, dog, this team doesn't pay linebackers. You know, you're going to get more at another place.
And
so
the more you play like this, you're going to be between 10 and 12, and potentially, if there's a bigger market for it out there, you could be in that 12 to 15 range.
You're right, though, about the wife. You know how that goes. You know, the wife gets in your ear, the woman gets in your ear, and you're
hey, man, she starts doing this. You know, we're only bringing home like $670,000. That's a great income.
Then she starts sending you Zillow links of houses you can buy and all sorts of bullshit.
Hey, by the way, can you make sure you send it quicker for me? Thanks, Xander.
Charlie Swift says, body bag game repeat.
Yeah,
we're going to destroy that. You know what? Fuck 28-24. We might absolutely throttle this team tonight.
That's because
you win 35-10. We might win 35-13.
Yeah, that's because you've blown every team out this year. You guys are great in blowing teams out. Wonderful at it. You can't even blow the Jags out. You want to blow out the Washington Commanders. So you think the Jags are better than the Commanders?
Oh, what about the Giants, who the Commanders barely scraped by?
What about the Browns? You barely scraped by.
All right, but I'm saying you're nitpicking. We destroyed 3 other teams.
Destroyed shitty teams, too. Like I said, I'm not debating that the Commanders. I don't know who they are either. But you're making this team sound like they're the team to beat. Let's read all super chats. I like Mr. Coochie. Mr. Coochie's now become one of my favorite guys here, man.
The Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC East. And actually, they might be the team to beat in the NFC right now.
All right, let's talk Kellen Moore here. Kellen run the ball 40 times. You think they throw the ball? Do you think they attack the middle? You see tight ends being used tonight, or is it the standard old predictable Y and Z, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? By the way, I'll say this to you. When I say that, half of me's kidding. The other half is this. Well, until they could stop it, Sills.
this guy, I mean, he can't ask a question without trolling me in the middle of the question.
Oh, wait. No, it's just predictability. A, Y, and Z. Either Devontae or the other guy, and then we'll throw a couple little crumbs over here to God.
Stop them. Until they can get stopped. I mean, who the hell cares? They can't stop them. A.J. Brown's got 2 years of 1,500 plus. I mean, I'm not crowning them for it, but I'm saying teams obviously can't stop it. It's like the dummies in here were telling me CD Lamb stinks. Guy put up 1,800 yards. What the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't say he stinks.
CD Lamb stinks. What the fuck are we talking about here? The guy had 1,800 yards last year. What the hell are we talking about?
Let me say this to you, man.
He plays the slot. I don't give a fuck where he plays.
I told people this the other day, and I'll say it again. There's only one receiver I would take over AJ in this league. One guy. That's it.
Really?
Okay. The guy in Minnesota.
Only one, you think?
Yeah, for me. Because I like
what he does. Got AJ as your number 2 wideout in the NFL? Yeah,
because he does so good in the run game. And get this. He blocked for Derrick. He blocked for Derrick Henry, dude. And by the way, don't you think there's a coincidence that wide receivers blocking down the field? Derrick Henry was a beast in Tennessee. Well, guess who was a beast in Tennessee with him there? A.J. Brown. I mean, dude. And I mean, now all of a sudden Saquon is wide open in the open field. Well, dude, he's not wide open in the open field just because Saquon's great, which he is. But he's open down there because those wideouts are blowing people up down there.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, DK's probably the second most physical wide receiver.
DK's a cesspot. I mean,
no, but he's not. No, he's not. He's not the receiver that AJ is. And Tyreek Hill's he's a one-trick pony. He's a deep threat guy, but you don't win Super Bowls with deep threats. That's why Kansas City dumped his ass. I mean, think about it. The NFL players voted that guy the best player in the league. And Kansas City said, hey, see ya.
You need guys that move the sticks. I mean, you need guys that move the sticks if you want to win Super Bowls with wide receivers.
You need Michael Irvin or T.O. type wideouts.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think even the whole league is kind of high on wide. I still love having them. I'm not saying I don't want to have them, but I think Andy Reid's philosophy is right. You need guys that move the sticks. You don't need the greatest wideouts in the game. I mean, look at Tom Brady. I mean, Danny Amendola, West, the dudes, the white dudes that he had.
Deion Branch.
Those guys were certified movers of the chains, baby.
Hey, dude, the New England Patriots were the Boston Celtics of the NFL. All white dudes out there playing. I mean, the Kevin McHale's of the world, right? And the Larry Birds now. Yeah, Amendola. Hey, seriously, Amendola and Edelman and Wes Welker.
Edelman, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and Tom Brady. But that was a tight end driven offense, man. Guys, please hit the like button. You guys have been sensational. By the way, all super chats will go to the top. How many carries for Barkley tonight?
I'm going to say 24. 24 carries tonight for Barkley. I think probably good 6 to 8 of them will come late in the game. Got to have a lead at that point. And if we have a lead at that point, I think it could be even more because I'm not, as joking as I was a couple minutes ago, I don't think we're going to blow this team out. I think it's going to be a close game. I think both teams are formidable. Both teams are good. Both have good quarterbacks. Both are playing good football right now. Both have good weapons. I mean, I look at Terry McLaurin. He lines up, I think it's 78% of the time he lines up on the left hash, and 98% of the time Quinyon Mitchell plays over there. So John's right. They're not going to travel Quinyon with him at all. They don't do that. They're never going to do that. But it does seem like Terry will be lined up over there a lot. That's going to be a good test for.
He's a physical wideout too.
He's also really good at coming back to the football, getting into space and zone coverage and making tough catches. He's not a big yak guy. He's not the biggest catch radius guy. He's one of those dudes that's got really surefire hands, and he's going to catch the football. And he's a veteran, so he knows how to go around a cornerback to make a catch. He's got some of the greatest catches you'll ever see. Mawson cornerback. So he's gonna be a tough test tonight. I mean, you got to take him out of the game, but I think bigger is stopping that run game for them.
Well, in my opinion, I think the key for Washington, they got to put the game in the hands of the quarterback. Now, again, some would say, well, wait a minute here, Sills, are you dishing? No, right now the success of the football team has been running the ball with the dynamic Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. What they don't want is, if you, like you said, Xander, keep an eye on this. If it's 3rd and 1, the entire first half, Philly's winning the first half, and that means Philly can win the ball game. Yeah. If they're 3rd and 1, what if they're 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7? They're kind of in the middle. The game's close. The game will always be dictated by how you watch that 3rd down. Well, how many times do you see teams look at 2022 for the Eagles? Every single game, they were constantly 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. And when you're 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 with tush push and all that, I mean, you're really, when you start a series out, we've said this before, you're starting off 1st and 8. I mean, that makes that game even more unattainable for the opposing team. Now, if you keep them in 3rd and long and you get a bunch of 3 and outs and you're inconsistent in that first quarter, that plays into the side of Washington keeping this game close. Washington wants a 4th quarter game, because I don't think they can hang 60 minutes with Philly. But I do think this. If Philadelphia comes out stumbling around like they have all year long in the first half, even against Dallas, they stumbled around.
Yeah, they did.
If they stumble around a little bit in the first
half.
They
got to knock that shit off, man. You're not going to be able to do that versus good teams in the league. I mean, they're lucky that they played the Cowboys last week. Remember, that game was not a blowout until the 3rd quarter when they finally, put their foot on the gas a little bit. You're right. I mean, they cannot start slow tonight because the Commanders are too good, dude. It instantly becomes a 4th quarter game if you don't do something in the first quarter. So we'll see.
I'm expecting Dan to bring a ton of pressure tonight after what happened in Dallas.
I think so too.
I think you're going to see a lot of stunts, and I think you're going to see first down blitzes, and I think you're going to see a lot of pressure.
How good is their D line, Sills? I don't think it's
not good.
No.
I mean,
they're missing a lot of dudes on it. They have good players. They got Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, but I think Jonathan Allen, Noah's out. They got a couple other guys missing from there. So it's going to be interesting, but should be a good game tonight, man. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Absolutely, man. Jason Cole will also give us a national perspective, our Hall of Fame voter. That'll be at 4:30. So we'll get him. All right, dog.
Cole will bring you back to reality on Jaden. He's going to say, all right, he's good. Give him, let me see a little more.
Hopefully somebody brings you back to reality on your boy Hurts.
What do you mean back to reality?
He's the most inconsistent quarterback I've ever covered. I mean, seriously. You said, what? You want to hear something? Here's a receipt for your boy. Here's Xander Krause. He says this is exactly who Wishbone is. One play, you'll watch him look like holy shit, this guy doesn't belong in the league. The next 5 plays, he looks like he's the best player in the league. That's who he is. So at any moment, he can make, remember, it's about the critical mistake. It's not about the great play. It's about not turning it over and forcing turnovers to make your team lose games. This is exactly who he is. You're right, Xander. This guy's got the propensity to go like this. He looks like Lamar Jackson.
You're right. He needs to have higher lows. The lows, I mean, he can't fluctuate that much. I mean, and sometimes the fluctuations come in game. I mean, like you just said, one series he can.
The Dallas game.
Holds on to it for 6 seconds,
you're like, this,
and then
what's
the next
this?
series.
First half, you're like, what's this? Second half, you're like, holy shit, that's great.
Oh, even in the first half, remember, he had the 6-second sacks, throwing the ball away, all those things. And then the next drive at the end of the first half, he jukes out from overshowing the defender, throws a touchdown pass to Dallas Goedert. You're like, where the hell did that come from? So no, you're right. He's got to fix it. I put in yesterday in the chat on our night show last night that I think that's the biggest thing Jalen has to fix is you can't be up and down that much. It's too hard to win against good teams when you're not playing consistent football. I'd almost rather get rid of the highs if it means you get rid of some of the lows. Play steady Eddie.
That's Troy Aikman football.
Right, exactly. Easier to win that way.
Never had enormous highs, but he never had enormous lows.
But Jalen's got that upside. I just heard you say it. Sometimes he looks like the best player in football. I think that's the words that just came out of your mouth. You guys hear that? Did everybody else hear that?
Yeah, I did. One moment he looks like Lamar. The next moment he looks like Nancy Lamar. I mean, yeah, he looks terrible. I mean,
what the hell?
This looks like now. What's that guy? Nate Peterman. What's that guy you guys had?
Oh my gosh, Nathan Peterman. No, you're thinking who's the dude we put in?
Nate Sudfeld. That guy.
That was it. Sudfeld. That was it. Also, what's up with your take on the Philly fans? What's up with your take on the Philly fans? You're like, I'm starting to like you guys. I'm like, it's been 4.5 years. You don't know by now? Shit or get off the pot.
Took me 5 years to marry my old lady, so give me a break, okay?
Oh, yeah. When you have a hot woman, it doesn't take
so wait a
year and a half.
No, because that's what Philly fan does. They automatically
took that line from you.
Listen to this guy. You know what, too? That's right, because you Philly guys always embrace somebody right away. No, come on.
How many dates does it take to tell you?
What do you think this is? Los Angeles? Los Angeles weirdos do that. I don't accept anybody in my life after the first. Hell, I just started loving you. What are you?
How many dates does it take to know whether you like a chick or not? I mean, come on, dude. You're teetering on the fence.
Well, it depends. I'm with the psycho 34 years now. All right. Hey, by the way, I am. I'm really starting to really love these guys, man.
No, they're the best. I grew up here. I know how to. You want to do some supers?
Yeah, let's do the supers here, man.
Deep fried.
Coochie. Hey, Coochie.
There you go. That's all he wants. That's why he makes his name that, because he wants to hear me read it.
Why are you surprised Daniel's as good as he is?
I thought he was the only generational quarterback in the last 10 drafts.
I'm not sure what you're doing, Coochie.
Nostradamus Coochie.
Yeah. Okay.
Billy Don, the legend. Last 5 game, Eagles ranked 2 in NFL total defense.
Lindbergh defense smells like shit.
The no holes defense.
You ever had Lindbergh cheese?
Oh. Hurts can't read defense is good.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. He can't. He's not very good at it. That's why they tailored it back like John said today. That's not a good thing, folks. Here, I'll do a John McMullen. That's just not good. It's just not good.
That was a bad John McMullen impression.
I know, man. I love
Abe John. Says, Quinn will use Buck's game plan, blitz and quick pass.
Yes, Abe. Absolutely. Right. Supers go to the top, guys.
That's the right game plan, by the way, if you're them.
It is.
Deep fried. If the Eagles win, Sills has to drink pickle vodka.
No, I'm going to sing. I'll bring that back out again like I did 2 years ago. I didn't have to do it last year. I didn't have to do it last year because you sucked so bad down the end of the stretch. You guys put your hand up. You guys put your hand up and had mercy last year. So, I mean, I had mercy on you. So, okay, I'll do that on the National Football Show. If that happens, it's not happening, but we'll see.
Polska Trucker, thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. $20 super chat. I think this game will be physical and tough. Agreed. I also think that Xander will give away another Barkley jersey. Agreed. I think both of those things are true for Polska.
I think Barkley has 20 carries tonight for 85 yards and a touchdown.
Anything in the air?
Yeah.
So you don't think a Barkley jersey's coming? 125 all
Because I don't think he's going to be able to get around those backers in the passing game. So I think he probably has about 35. Maybe. Wait a minute. I think he has about 25 yards receiving tonight. So what does that put him at there? 10, 9. It puts him at 110.
Yeah, it's short.
Okay. It puts him at 1. Hey, I could Xander, I'm not thinking he's not going to not have 100 yards tonight, but I think he's probably going to be around 110, 115 tonight. Maybe a TD, something like that. Those linebackers are going to be a difference maker because he's not the last time he played linebackers like this were in Tampa.
That's true. These linebackers are good. There's no denying that. They're good ass linebackers. Prince says Sills' new nickname is Krispy Kreme.
Yeah. Okay, Princess. Whatever, man. I'm not even sure what that means, dickbag, but go ahead.
I don't either. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. He's just so full of shit sometimes.
Because you're glazing the Commanders, maybe?
Glazing the Commanders? I picked them at the beginning of the year to win the East. Give me a break, and they're playing to it. They're 7-3. Give me a.
Really?
What have I done? What have I said?
Who's first in the NFC East right now?
Because they played one less game.
And then when we win tonight, we'll have a 2-game lead on them.
One less game too. God.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll have a 2-game lead after tonight. Okay. And then we'll win again when they're on their bye week, and we'll have a 3-game lead.
Don't get blown out tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. Deep Fried says, Xander, when my ex-wife got in my ear, I did the opposite. Yeah, well, when you're a real man,
why you're divorced, Coochie. Hey, Coochie, it's probably why you're divorced.
When you're the real man, you set the agenda. Not Big Phil. Jalen says, I grew up in Virginia Hills, and in the 90s, my roommate had Skins tickets sitting in the same row as Hoggets. He would take me to the Eagles games. The Eagles owned them at the games I went to. It was amazing. That's a good story. What's Hoggets?
How would I know? Hey, those Washington Redskin Eagle games were just absolutely sensational. They were, man. They were great. Then again, that whole NFC East back in the 80s and 90s, Xander, they were body bag games. Then you had to turn around the next week and play the Giants with Lawrence Taylor. Oh, the Hogs. He's talking about the Hogs with like Russ Grimm. Somebody asked me that question yesterday. Do I know Russ Grimm? I know Russ Grimm very well. He's a great football player and Hall of Famer. Played at Pitt. Yep. It's Hogs.
Good stuff.
See, youngster, that's what they used to call the offensive line of the Washington Redskins, the Hogs. And Riggins would run the ball. They called them the Hogs.
Yeah. Chris Scott and Smith is key tonight. Nolan Smith is key tonight, containing Daniels. Nolan's speed will help him.
Nolan Smith is a key? Well, then guess what? The Commanders are rolling them.
I agree with Chris. I agree with you.
Hey, Chris, if Nolan Smith is the key on setting the edge tonight, you're in trouble. If Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham are setting the edge, I'm all right with that. Okay? You're going to hit or miss with Smith setting the edge. He has been better. Shit, the kid Jalix Hunt, the kid from Christian Catholic Eagle Creek University, wherever the fuck he's from. That guy from Christianity.
Jalix Hunt.
San Antonio something.
Houston Christian, I think it is.
Sure.
Chris, I agree.
Division 17.
Nolan Smith's got to set the edge tonight, and when he does, his speed will help him contain Jaden. What a great take by Chris Scott.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Sig Lord says, where do I get the pocket logo long sleeve? Ask Big Sills. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a pocket on here, but this is a nice one, isn't it? The long sleeve. I love the long sleeve.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, you got to check out jakibsports.com to get your merch. Appreciate everybody. Always Sunny says, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown absolutely took a shit on that secondary both times last year's. Same players on Skins secondary. No, correct.
And like I said, they had shitty quarterback play in those games. Were still a bad coach decision a year ago and a kick. I don't know. Was it overtime that you beat them last year? You're making it sound like you blew those teams out because these guys were so dynamic in that
they
game.
were close games. Yeah, they were close games.
I think Jake Elliott had to kick a field goal, one of them, and the stupid
I know
ass
the one we won in overtime. I
screwed it
remember
up.
watching. We did the show from the battleship that day. Remember
I love
watching it there.
those pictures
Eagles
you
Army
got.
down under says 2 linemen and 2 linebackers in top 10. Why does their run D suck? If Goddard was on pace for 650 yards, Sills would call him trash.
No, this is a 35-year-old tight end who's supposedly past his prime after you guys kicked him out of Philly, and he's going to have more receiving yards than any tight end you'll have in Philadelphia this year. I mean,
and this guy's past.
This guy's on the past. He's on the back 9 of his career, and he's having a better career year. Not a career year, excuse me. He's having a better year than anybody you have in Philly right now.
Como, no, he has not. And that's why he hasn't been given any JAKIB merch. No, wait, he's a good point, though. 2 linemen and 2 linebackers in the top 10. Why does the run defense suck?
Yeah, man. I'm not. I've tried watching it too, and get this, they're just not getting off blocks, man. I mean, can I tell you? Can I tell you what really? Hey, all kidding aside, I think they're playing too high. They're trying to figure it out because they lost Allen. They don't have experience in the middle in there. I mean, they were okay, I thought, against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a better team, and they're getting better and better under Russell Wilson every week. So I don't know. I mean, I don't remember. Did Najee have 100 yards last week?
I don't know.
Okay, I mean, because
you can probably write him down for 100.
I mean, I don't know if he had 100 yards.
No, he did not have a good game last week. He had 21 carries for 53 yards.
That's a really great game then by their run defense against
Pittsburgh.
That's
absurd. That's 2.5 yards a carry.
What did they give up in total yards for that game?
Let me look.
I mean, because that's going to tell me a little bit more about this game tonight too. That's a good opponent. You have a good rushing attack, good old line. You got a quarterback that throws the ball. I mean, what did Pittsburgh have?
See, they did have Steelers did have 140 rushing yards. Who had them? Okay, so they had Jalen Warren. He had 14 carries for 66. Najee had 21 for 53. Okay. Cordell Patterson had 14.
So they ran the ball for 144. What was the average?
They ran the ball for, it says, 140. I don't have the average because it's split up among so many people. At least on this site, I don't have the average, but not that good.
So they had 144, right? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just take the 2 backs. I mean, 66 and 53, you're looking at 119 there with 35 carries. It's not a huge average. It's probably a 4-yard a carry average somewhere in there.
Here, I got it right here. So this is what they did last week, team-wise, versus Pittsburgh, who's a good team. And by the way, like I said in the open, I think this is an opportunity here for Washington to understand that you're going to be in a ball game here. 21 first downs to 19, third down efficiency. Pittsburgh was really good at 7 of 16. That's outstanding. It's above 50%. They were 5 of 14, which is below 50%. Pittsburgh's defense did a nice job. They held Pittsburgh to 312 in total yards. Pittsburgh held them at 242. Steelers have a great defense. Rushing, they had 140, like you said, and they held Washington to 60 yards. So get this, though. They held Pittsburgh to 3 yards a carry.
Yeah, 3.3 Flexen puts him.
Okay, so they held
Spike, I'm with you on this. Is this the Spike? Is that the game? The very first play from scrimmage, Michael Vick drops back. A deep ball to Deshaun Jackson. That was maybe the best deep ball I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was some play, man.
That was.
Really
I think that was that. I think that's the game he was talking. I think that was Monday Night Football, if I'm not mistaken. Spike, I like it. I think we got a couple more supers we'll hit real quick. Washington tube socks. Did you get that?
No, I have. Thanks, Coochie.
I mean, this was I think you already hit this, but
I want Shipley to be like Ekeler. This is what you're
dreaming. He says Marshall Faulk at best.
Hey, get this. That guy, well, what do you make of this one? In the last five years, Austin Eckler's averaged 1,400 total offensive yards from scrimmage. Don't you want Shipley to be in that room?
You do, but can he be? I mean, we're talking about Marshall Faulk here. Austin
Eckler. No, I'm talking
player.
Ekeler. That's Ekeler at 1,400 yards. Dude, Austin Ekeler, man.
I want to answer this question from Como. He says, Xander, who covers McLaurin, Q, Slayer, DeJean? So, I mean, look, they're going to play zone, Como, but here's the stats. Quinyon Mitchell is the right cornerback, 97.8% of snaps. Terry McLaurin is the left wideout, 75.8% of snaps. So, if those numbers are indicative of what's going to happen in tonight's game, Q is going to be on McLaurin the most. Now, I think they're going to move McLaurin around maybe a little bit more tonight.
I wouldn't be shocked if they drop him in the slot too.
Yeah, I think so too. But I like that. I like Cooper DeJean handling him. No fat man clothes in JAKIB merch. I don't know what you mean by that.
Yeah, I do, Coochie.
Jameson says, I went to the Monday Night Football game when Vic, that's it. When Vic absolutely destroyed the Skins, best game of my life. I was sitting row 3 at the 35-yard. That's a good seat, Jameson. row 3 at the 35-yard line. Jameson, was that the game that Vic went long in the first play? It was, right? Yeah.
Hey, Jameson, there's not a bad seat in that. I've been in that stadium 5 times. There's not a bad seat in that Lincoln Financial, man.
Jessica, yes.
Dominating. Look at this, Jessica. This is just has the feels dominating Eagles primetime performance, right? That's it, Jessica. Dominate the women, dominate the thing. Conan the Barbarian. So you think it's like Conan the Barbarian tonight? Okay, Jessica. All right. My girl in here, Sue, man, I'm disappointed she won't wear red bottoms. I don't know, man.
Quit picking on Sue.
No, Sue, I like Sue, man. She won't wear Louis Vuitton.
Midnight green tonight, fellas, equals a win.
Midnight green, baby. Let's go, man.
Jersey, dude, you like the midnight green.
I like the black helmet, man.
Why?
I don't like that black helmet. I do. I like that black helmet, man. I like the black gear.
I think the whole NFL has gotten stupid with the helmet.
What do you mean? Like the stupid ass Sixers today opening up their new jersey so Josh Harris can make all Philly fans feel like you're stupid and you're dumbasses that you don't know what he's doing. They unveiled the new jerseys.
It's a city jersey. They do it every year.
Oh yeah, on the night of the Eagles Redskins game. Oh, I'm sure that was well planned out. All right, yeah, sure, okay, right.
So, how do you feel right now that we're 6 hours?
Piece of shit. All right, man.
We're 6 hours from me putting your crow in the smoke.
By the way, that jersey looks like something the San Francisco Warriors would wear.
We're 6 hours from putting your crow in the
okay.
Tonight. And it'll be cooking all night, and it'll be a special delivery at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. How do you feel about that?
This is what I'll be saying to you tonight. After tonight, I'll be taking a new meal from the Palm in Philadelphia, courtesy of Xander and Big Joe.
You'll be eating crow tonight. That's the only meal you're getting.
Hey, Joe, I like a 5-pound lobster at the Palm if you can.
You fucked me over once. You fooled me once. Shame on me.
I showed I 1 for 1, man, at least.
No, you're not. You're 1 for 3, I think.
No, I'm not. I'm 1 for 1, man.
You're 1 for 2. Come on. I still got the tickets. You're sitting on the wall right there.
I know, man. He did first class seats. I'm supposed to go, and all of a sudden he goes, "Where the fuck is the guy?"
Let me pull up real quick the beautiful meal that Big Sills will be eating.
No, it's a steak. No, it's a lobster with. Hey, watch this. You know what You know what Xander's gonna have?
Look at that thing.
I'm gonna show you this.
That thing gonna taste good, baby.
I'm gonna show you this, folks. Let me get this one card out here because I've got to get it ready after tonight because this is going to be very important for Xander and Big Joe to understand tonight. See, my favorite place to eat is the Palm. And God dang it, where's my Palm card? I had my Palm card in here. Here it is. Here's my 837 card right here. Palm.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to having a green screen. There's nothing worse than holding something up.
See it right there. Look at it.
I got it. I see it.
Okay. It's the Palm. Here, look. See on the back here? There's the Palm restaurant. Yeah. Okay. By the way, I've got about 10,000 credits on it, which means free meals and shit, of course, as you know. It's the only restaurant.
Miami?
No, it's all over the country. The Palm. See, I know that. Okay. This is like a big time restaurant. This is like one of the top 5 restaurants in the country. And I got my face on 4 walls.
So Como says, Xander, you think we get angry Sills versus McMullen today? The only way that happens, Como, and I've determined that this is the only thing that will get both of them fired up, is Nick Sirianni. Because if Sirianni coaches like a jackass, Sileo will rip him,
which is a given.
And John will not allow any talk about Nick Sirianni being a jackass for some weird reason. So if you want that to happen, hope the Eagles win, but Sirianni coaches it like a jerk off, and you'll get that for sure.
Yeah, that's a great take, because hey, it's a big game. I'm counting on Sirianni to do something stupid tonight and cost you about 7 points.
Look at this. Yale says, Dan, you should take Xander. That. Well, look at that. Yeah, you'd think Sills would ever do something nice for Big Z.
Hey, man, I go overtime.
Yo, we ended the show at 6:03. I'm going to be hearing about that for months. Meanwhile, we start every day at 2:05. I can't get this dude to shut his trap before the show.
The last game, Xander went 20 minutes over. He goes, I'm sure this guy's bitching about it.
I mean, you said it on the show. You couldn't even contain it. Twiz the Jigga. Sills has a red bottom after Josh Allen is done. Oh, God, Twiz.
Oh, Twiz. Hey, Twiz, guess what? You know who's going to have a red bottom tonight? Your boy Hurts, after they kicked the shit out of him tonight. I got Redskins tonight. Big time, man.
Flexen says, pay that tab. Flexen. I pay everybody's tab, my dog. I'm the king of paying. I never go out. I am not. Wait, you know what Sileo is? This is what you know the guy when the check comes at dinner, and so everybody's get the alligator arms. They're like, oh, everybody looks around, oh, alligator arms, and they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, here, take the fucking card and swipe it.
Hey, when I went to the hotel, I don't have my wallet on me. And Xander's like, God damn, this guy.
Gotta be kidding me.
Hey, by the way, look at this. 28-26, baby. That's what we got going on tonight.
I don't like your score.
28-26 Redskins. That's what I got tonight. I think it's.
I got 28-24 Birds.
I think it's going to be a close one tonight, man. I really do.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear what Jason Cole thinks of it.
Hey, I'm really looking forward though to getting questions answered by both teams. Because I think for sure, I think there's an overrated component a little bit on Philly, and I don't know, and an unknown with Washington.
Why is Philly overrated, but Washington's not? Serious question.
I said a little. I didn't say a lot.
I know, but why don't you have that feeling with Washington? Because that's the exact feeling I have with Washington.
Because I don't really believe, and when people say that comment, I heard John say it today. Okay, well, you can have a shitty schedule. You can have it. You don't have the same talent you had in 22.
Yeah, but Washington,
that was veteran leadership.
Washington doesn't have a good schedule either.
I didn't say they did. I just said there's more of an unknown, and I think there's a little bit of an overrated quality, a little bit to that Eagle defense. I want to see them against. Oh no, of course not. Hey, playing against the Giants and the Cowboys.
Everybody, put your scores in the chat. I want to hear some scores. Everybody, we need to hear some scores.
Holy shit, man. I can't believe that we're the best thing that's never seen anything before. Holy
28.
Shit.
Oh, so James Jones has the same score as me, except he's taking the Skins.
Yep.
31-24 Eagles. That's a good score. I like that. 31-16 from Tyson. I like that. 28-21. It's a good score, Abe. I like it. Flex says, I don't do scores. All right, Flex.
Oh,
all right, Flex.
Hey, way to play along, dickhead.
Yeah, right.
What do you think we're doing here, dude?
Look at Lucius.
I don't do that stuff.
38-13. 34-20.
Get out of here,
30,
man.
24,
you ain't that good. You ain't
a lot of people thinking we're going to blow this team out. 34-14.
I know they do, because you and John in the morning are sitting there going, it's not going to be even remotely close. It's not even anything like that.
James, you did. I have that on my iPad. I got to pull that up. You might be right about that, James Jones. He picked that score first. You're right. I might have to give you the credit, not me. Good stuff, James.
We're at 270 likes, 276 likes. Let's get it over 300, guys.
All right, Big Sills. Jason Cole coming up, brother.
Xander, great stuff. I mean, look, dude, it's going to be an interesting pregame tonight.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of unknowns going into this game, all kidding aside.
It's going to be a fun postgame tonight because John's at the stadium, so we'll only have him for one segment, and that's typically when the sparks fly.
Yeah, and everyone starts looking around going, why are those two guys arguing? We're not arguing. We're just validating our points. Oh, man, it's going to be a good one.
If you're listening to the show right now, the lesson to take from the segment today, outside of it's going to be a great game tonight, is don't be alligator arms. Nobody likes a man that's alligator arms when the check comes. Right?
Yeah, I'm not.
Nobody likes an alligator arm.
I'm not suggesting I'm not like that either.
Nobody likes an alligator arm.
Everything. You know why he says that shit to you? Because everything I own, I'm wearing right now is free, and I don't want to pay for anything. So he gives you the impression that I'm cheap, and I won't lie, I am. Okay, I'm a cheapskate type of guy. I'm not gonna say that. All
Just
right.
don't be the alligator arm. And it's funny because most of the time the T-Rex hands slog it. You know, most of the people who have T-Rex hands, they'll be the ones that text you. Hey, you want to go grab a bite to eat? You want to go get a drink? Oh yeah, let's do it. And then the check. I think I gotta go. You know what? I gotta go to the restroom.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a little sick.
I'm gonna go take the phone call. Oh my god.
Hey, I'm a little sick. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I've seen it all. If you guys can't tell, I've seen it all. All right, Steak Sales. Good stuff.
All right, homie. Thank you very much, man. And we'll see you on the pregame show tonight. Great stuff as always, brother. Thank you.
Pregame, 7 p.m. Eastern, everybody. Hope to see you all there, and we'll have a great halftime and postgame show, too, as well. Good stuff, man.
You guys are great. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. See what Flexen has to say here. You cheap and can't read. Yes. Yes. Hey, Flexen, why do you state the obvious? I'm trying to figure this out. You state the obvious? Congratulations to you. What an epiphany. This guy sat around and goes, the guy can't, you folks, what you guys don't understand, thank you, Flexen, is that these things come 7,000 miles an hour at me. Okay? There's like 1,000 things going like this. So am I a quick reader? No. Okay. Not for food sales. Haven't had much credit at the Palmer's crazy work. Hey, you know then, don't you? Hey, Prince, who said I paid? hey, Prince, one little tidbit. I do, man. I got 10,000 points on that bitch. And I got my face on 3 different places. Tampa, Miami, and Las Vegas. Here, I'll show, let me give you 2 of them before I take a time out here. Hey, Prince, let me show you this, man. Just to validate this, because you know people will call big sales bullshit here. Sileo, Palm. Let me show you this, guys. You guys are going to love this. It's a pretty big deal to get your face on the wall. This is the restaurant that was in Wall Street. Okay? Here. Here's 2 of them. The bottom one's Miami. The top one's, it's Orlando. Look at this here. This is the Palm Restaurant. Big Sills is on the wall in both places. I'm on in 5 places, actually. So there's one in Orlando, and the bottom one is Miami. So we'll see what happens tonight. Should be an interesting game. By the way, I'm bought in on Jaden Daniels here. I am. Let's see here. But Sills, don't you put your face on the wall when you don't. Look at this guy. Hey, Sills, don't they put your face on the wall when you don't pay? Yes. No, they put your name and your face on the wall in the shithouse when you don't pay. That's what they do. When you're actually a decent customer, not saying I pay, like I said. Do I have the alligator arms like Xander said? Yes, I forgot my wallet. Jason Cole can pick this up for me. All right, big game tonight, man. Washington Commanders haven't been relevant since 1997. Okay, they have not been relevant. And this is an old school NFC East ball game. I'm going to ask Jason this because I threw this out earlier and I want to be sure. I think the NFC East is the only division that every team in the division has won a Super Bowl. I think it's the only one. Our Hall of Fame voter, our NFL insider joins us now, Jason Cole, author. Jason, is that true? Is that the only division in pro football that's won a Super Bowl?
Well, let's just go. The West, no. The North, no. The South, no. AFC East, since he's never won one, Cleveland's never been to one. I'm sorry, that's the North. The East, Buffalo's never won one. The
West,
South,
Chargers haven't won one.
the South, Jacksonville hasn't won. The West, the Chargers. Yeah, it's the only division. All four teams.
Tonight, what are you looking for tonight? I said this about Washington and about the Eagles. I don't really know because the last 5 opponents combined are 8-28 on who they've played, on what kind of team that is and how good they are. Then I turn around and look at Washington and go, well, who are they too? I mean, they really haven't had an electric schedule. Now, they played well last week against Pittsburgh, and that was a really great test because I think Pittsburgh is coming along here because of the addition of Russell Wilson. What are you looking for tonight with this matchup tonight?
I'm really interested to see how physical Philadelphia is going to be in Daniels because Daniels has slowed down over the last 5 games. I think the rib injury is a big deal, but teams have been physical with him, and he's a smaller guy. Like this is the downside of taking a small quarterback is, especially a skinny small quarterback, is those guys wear down, especially when they're trying to run as much as a guy like Daniels is trying to run. That's why Lamar Jackson beef up a year ago to try to be able to take the hits and then decide that was a bad direction to go and then lost the weight again. And then they balanced it off by bringing in Derrick Henry. But that's a whole different argument. I think I want to see how physical the Eagles are with him. I want to see if the Eagles defense is as good as I think they're coming along to be, because I thought they were the weakest part of that team early in the season. So if their defense can come along and be legitimate, all of a sudden you are talking about a team that could maybe make a deep playoff run. If they're just average the way I think they actually are, I really don't think the Eagles defense is all that good, but
I just got done talking with one of our guys about that. I have the same impression too. I don't believe they're as good as people in those numbers are showing because of the opponents that they've played.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think tonight's going to tell us a little bit more if they really are, because McLaurin may be one of the most underrated players in the league. And I think he's a heck of a ball player, man.
Yeah. I want to see, there's a lot I need to know about the Eagles to see if they can make progress. They've calmed down a lot of things here by winning games of late. But they, as you said, they haven't been tested. They're winning games that they're supposed to win, and I think they've got the next 3 games are pretty tough. They got
Rams next, Rams, and then the Ravens.
Right, and the Ravens game is the biggest test of all 3. So they're kind of working their way. I wouldn't say up because I don't think Rams are all that good, but this is a good, solid team that they're going to have to play. That can win the division. Washington can win this division. So they got to beat them out for the division. They should beat the Rams. And then it really comes down to, if they're a legitimate contender, can they beat or at least play with the Ravens? Because the Ravens, to me, from a statistical standpoint, are the best team in the league. They have screwed up some games, but when you look at what their offense does combined with what their defense does, that's a pretty rugged squad.
Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Commanders, for you, have you been surprised? I mean, he took a team to the Super Bowl, of course, that iconic meltdown 28-3, but he was also the architect with those guys, Pete Carroll up in Seattle, that Gus Bradley and those guys who helped build that Legion of Boom up there, where they were taking 3rd and 4th and 5th round draft choices like Cam Chancellor, putting together a good defensive group. Now you look at this group here, they've improved a lot defensively, especially in the pass defense. What do you make of him, man? He's got to be one of the top candidates right now for NFL Coach of the Year, along with Dan Campbell. I mean, that's a pretty good job that they've done turning that around with all the chaos that was in that building.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think getting the stink of Dan Snyder off of the organization is the biggest thing ever, because he interfered too much. But Quinn is sort of the archetype of a guy that especially defensive guys love to play for, because he's enthusiastic. he's smart, but he's also got the Jersey tough guy thing going. I mean, because he's from there and he understands the essence of the game. So is really good with the X's and O's, is really good in terms of understanding the people that he's working with and understanding who they are, but also getting to the point of, hey, look, guys, I, I get you. I understand you. We can talk, we can talk ball, we can talk X's and O's, but this is still a fist fight at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We can't get past the fact of this is a tough guy sport, and we got to play that way as an essence of what we do. And so he's sort of a nicer version of what Jim Harbaugh is. Like Jim Harbaugh is kind of like the gruff, kind of hard to like version of that, but still gets guys to play because he recognizes it's about toughness. Quinn acknowledges it's about toughness, but has an enthusiasm that is infectious.
Do you think Cliff Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator for the Commanders, gets another opportunity? Look at what he's done. And look at who his pedigree is here. I mean, he's had Kyler Murray. He's had Patrick Mahomes. Caleb Williams won a Heisman Trophy with him. Obviously, Chicago made a mistake by not hiring him and hiring the other guy they just fired 2 days ago. And now look what he's doing with Jaden Daniels. I mean, one thing that owners, I would think, be looking for, especially somebody like, Jim Irsay or even David Tepper, you're looking for a coach like that knows how to develop. I know Dave Canales is a one-year guy down in Tampa, but, I mean, Cliff Kingsbury, here's a guy that, if you're looking for a guy to develop an offense and develop a quarterback, isn't he your guy? Do you think he gets another opportunity? Won 11 games out in the NFC West when you had Pete Carroll, Kyle Shanahan, and Sean McVay out there. And remember, he's working for the Bidwells. I really like this guy.
Are you his agent? Are you
no, I'm saying.
Are you getting a cut of Kingsbury's contract? Are you getting a cut of
I would like to have him as my play calling head coach. Wait a minute. Here, who would you rather have, Nick Sirianni or him? Nick Sirianni doesn't really have a job in Philly.
Like Sirianni has done more than Kingsbury's ever done. Look, I think Kingsbury has some interesting concepts, and he did some smart stuff with Jaden Daniels. I heard a story recently where he basically went to Jaden Daniels and said, tell me the top 5 plays that you like to run, and incorporated that into the offense. So he understood, like, you're making a transition from a guy playing this college offense. Let's make it as easy as we possibly can as we teach him a pro offense and adapt to the things that he does well. Really smart stuff. The offense basically is bullshit. And it's just this spread, let's create matchups and, run out of formations.
You mean Kyle Shanahan BS, right?
No, Kyle Shanahan likes to hit people. Okay, you know that Kyle Shanahan likes to hit people. Okay.
I'm just trying to fight back. I'm sorry.
I know you're trying to fight back. I'm not saying that Cliff is a bad coach. Don't get me wrong. I think he's really interesting. But there is a difference in what college offenses ask for versus what pro offenses ask for. Absolutely. And what I'm waiting to see is, does he adapt and understand, like, this is not just formation football that takes advantage of the other side has some weaker players, and we're going to take advantage of the matchups on the weaker players, because you can do that at the college level and be really great. And you can teach your quarterbacks to be really great with that. Pro ball is different.
Bill Walsh told me the difference between college quarterbacks and pro quarterbacks, you tell the college quarterbacks where to throw the ball. In the NFL, the pro quarterbacks have to know where to go with the ball, because that's the essential part of developing a great passing game, is that quarterback knows exactly where to go with it. It's a whole different concept on what you're teaching.
He's got to figure out, because the defense, I mean, it's a fair matchup. You've got to come about, it's a fair matchup physically for both sides. And, you got smarter defensive guys. They got, the quarterback has to decipher a lot that goes on at the NFL level. And I think it's even more so than ever before. But the college offenses are designed to take advantage of teams that don't have great depth of talent.
I want to go on to this one here. Bills and Chiefs. Are you shocked that the Bills are favored in this football game heading in Arrowhead? I mean, they're favored heading in.
I thought the game's in Buffalo.
Oh, it's in Buffalo. Okay, they're favored.
No, maybe no. Let me just check that. I mean, I want to know that I just took what I said. Hold on a sec. Tell me. Just hold on one quick second. Yeah, it's in Buffalo. So
okay, it's in Buffalo. They're favored. Are you shocked?
The Buffalo's favored?
Yeah.
No, I think the game opened with KC as a 1-point favorite, which I was actually surprised by. I mean, KC's just kind of getting by right now, and they're good. They're good in close games because their defense is really good. I think that Mahomes is just right now is kind of bored until it gets challenging, and he has to be really good. I think he's bored. I also think that he doesn't have explosive weapons. Like DeAndre Hopkins is a terrific addition, but DeAndre Hopkins is not a guy who's going to get 40 and 50-yard balls all the time. He's really good on catching the balls you're supposed to catch. He's a good red zone guy. He's a good guy on third down to have, and he's going to make the everyday play that you need to have made, right? So that's a good receiver. Rashee Rice was, again, a good receiver. They lost him, but he was never going to be a 40 or 50-yard guy. Jarrell Worthy is the guy that they're trying to develop into being the explosive guy, but he only plays on speed right now. Okay, so he has to develop a way to turn that speed into something that can take advantage of defenses. So he's still learning it. Kelsey came in out of shape, but he's back in shape now and playing well. But they don't have the ability to go and get a 50-yard play at will. They've never replaced Tyreek Hill in that way. Not that you're going to replace Tyreek Hill, but they made the sacrifice of saying, we're not going to build with Tyreek Hill. We'll take that money, we're going to put it into the defense, and we'll make it easier for our offense. Ultimately, Buffalo in a regular season situation is a better team than that because they're a little bit more explosive. So right now, in regular season situation, I think that Buffalo is a better team. When you get into the playoffs, it becomes different because the Kansas City defense is a better defense than the Buffalo defense.
The other game that I'm interested in is Steelers and Ravens. And when you get Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh going against one another, how about this one, Jason? The only other coaching matchups that have had more matchups together has been Curly Lambeau and George Halas. These two guys here have gone back and forth here. I mean, it's been a great rivalry for the last 2 decades. I mean, both Hall of Fame coaches, I would think one day potentially getting into.
Probably, I would think. I would think they both. I wouldn't say definitely, but I think they both have a serious shot.
Both quarterbacks. This is a big story. One guy's a reclamation project. He's starting to look like Seattle. Russell Wilson again. And there's Lamar playing one of the most iconic seasons. I mean, Jace, he's on pace for 4,600 passing yards, something he's never done.
It is in what has been a very good, what has been an excellent to great career. There's already has 2 MVPs and a 36 touchdown season with 1,000+ yards rushing. This is his best season as a complete player. He's averaging 9.3 yards per pass attempt. That's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Todd Monken's going to get some looks, isn't he, for a head coaching job?
He should. Yeah. Monken should definitely get some looks based on what he's done and what he's designed. Now, my interview with him would be to, map out the offense and what it looks like with whatever quarterback I have. Right? Like if you were Dallas and you brought Monken in and say, okay, map out what we're going to do with Dak Prescott. Map out how are you going to run. And if, frankly, if Monken had more than one job offer, I would tell him to avoid Dallas. But that's a whole different discussion. But to get back to the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game, I think Pittsburgh does a really good job, and they're disciplined against Lamar. I know they've only played 4 times against Lamar, but they do a really nice job of disguising things. They're also really fast on defense, with TJ there on the edge, and then you have, I think what Pittsburgh does is they say, look, we're going to attack all the time, and we're not going to hesitate. We may give up a play here or there, but do not, under any circumstances, back down and go for fakes. Always go after and play hard at somebody. Hit Lamar when you can hit Lamar. Okay, make the game uncomfortable for him. All right, and that doesn't mean cheap shots. I'm not saying that, but any good defense, you want them to always play fast. And Pittsburgh does a really good job of saying we're always going to play fast. And that's what they're doing. And I think that gives Lamar trouble. I mean, again, this is consistently a very good defense, and his kryptonite is playing against very good defenses. He's not a great passer, against really good defenses. So this is where it measures up. But he's also probably never had a running back as productive and as great as Derrick Henry. And that's where the balance is making him so much better this year.
Two last ones here for you. Dallas. Speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, what's it more likely to be when it comes to the head coach in 2025? McCarthy's back, Deion Sanders is the next head coach, or Bill Belichick's the next head coach? Well, there's talk going around Dallas right now that, Jerry was asked the question and he didn't say anything about the future of Mike, and names have been brought up, and Jerry likes Deion a lot, obviously. By the way, I think it's a joke too, and then again, I think Dallas has been a joke for 30 years. So, I mean, anything's possible in that place, because you called him P.T. Barnum. I mean, that'd be a perfect P.T. Barnum move. Jason is to hire somebody.
It would be, but Deion's already, again, I don't. You have to pay Deion.
Oh, yes.
Right.
He's making $8 now. I mean, he's making $8 million now in Colorado. You'd have to.
McCarthy, 10 is a raise, but you'd have to really pay him to deal with being a Dallas coach. And the other side of this is eventually becoming a head coach at the NFL is actually really being a head coach at the college level is a lot of work, but Deion's able to get away with a lot of stuff because he's Deion. His personality makes up for, he can walk in the room and the relationship is established already, whereas a lot of coaches have to do the phone call stuff and the this and the that, and they've really got to sell it hard. Deion doesn't have to do all that stuff to sell himself. The kids know who he is, right? So he goes in with a leg up on how to do this. The NFL, that stuff doesn't matter. Like, guys don't care about whether are you Deion Sanders or not. Like, they care about, am I getting paid? Am I getting, what's the system, right? Like, so I think the NFL becomes a lot more real work. And is it real work when you have, Jerry over there? Now, here's what would be interesting. Post-game press conference. Who gets more attention, Deion or Jerry?
Well, that would hurt Deion, because if he got more pub, Jerry's not going for that.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, how does that play out? Because Jerry wants the attention on him.
That's what got Jimmy fired.
Right, like it's just like it becomes a war of who's got the bigger the bigger swinging one on the post game, right? Like that. Yeah, I mean, like that's really intriguing to me. But tell me, I just don't think Deion's going to want to do it, because I don't think he's going to get paid enough from Jerry to make it worth it for him to deal with the headaches of having to coach at the pro level and do a real job the way that you would have to do it in the NFL, whereas he can get away with it at the college level or even at a bigger program because his presence and personality makes up for a lot of the salesmanship that a lot of these other college coaches have to do. He's a fascinating person, okay, fascinating guy. I just don't think it works at the NFL level. As for Belichick's never cut. He's not touching that thing. He's not. I mean, come on, he's just not doing that. He's not playing the game with Jerry.
He'd rather coach the Panthers than that game.
He'd rather coach anybody. I mean, it's like you said, the Giants are out there, Tampa's out there. There's gonna be a job where there's gonna be a job where somebody says, you run the whole show, you make the decisions. Somebody's gonna do that this year with Belichick, and he can do it his way, and he can run the organization his way, and everybody will get out of his way, and he doesn't have to deal with the Jerry bullshit. Jerry basically takes guys now, with the exception of Jimmy and with the exception of Parcells, and he needed those guys at that time. He needed Jimmy at that time, and he needed Parcells at that given time because he needed to pass the stadium referendum. Everybody else has been some slap, right? It's been a Campo. Chan Gailey, who was desperately wanted another chance at a job. McCarthy, who desperately wanted a chance at another job. Garrett, who would put up with anything to take that job, right? Wade, who wanted another chance at a job, right? That's the guy that Jerry hires, is guys who desperately want another job. He'll find somebody who like that. Is it going to be like a Ron Rivera? Maybe it's a Ron Rivera type of guy. Maybe it's, who knows how it happens to be. But there'll be some retread who he can kind of trot out there and sell. And maybe it's he can sell Dan Lanning to the public. Something like that.
Oregon coach.
Yeah. So I don't know how it goes, but I just don't trust the situation in Dallas to get a really, truly great coach. And by the way, when we were talking about Jerry last week, and and you were talking about Casillas saying, "What has he done for 30 years?" I understand that, but you can never take away the 3 titles that he and Jimmy won together.
No matter if it's the front end of the book or the last chapter, it's part of the story that 3 Super Bowls were won in 4 years. No, I totally get that here. When do you start looking at the Hall of Fame finalists? When do you start to get that list? Well, how many more weeks is it before you guys start breaking it down?
Well, we got one of the finalists this week for the contributor category. I can't say who it is.
Okay.
But they let us know. So we're not, and you'll know that in about a month. Coaches, they got a meeting, I think, next week where they decide the candidate. I'm expecting that's probably going to be either Holmgren or Shanahan, both quality guys. We'll find the senior candidates. There's going to be 3 of those guys coming up. And the 15, we voted to drop the list to 25. I assume they'll announce that in a month. And then we'll quickly vote from 25 down to 15. Or I can't remember if it's like, we'll get that in a month, and then we'll do the cut down from 25 to 15, and that'll get announced sometime in January, I think, because they're trying to cut down that wait period on the 15.
I think they'll do it between the conference title games. That's when that list comes out. If I'm not mistaken, I think it comes out.
Well, they're doing it later this year because
in the bye.
I don't know. They talked about it, and I don't really pay attention to those kinds of dates because I just wait for the information to come out. But basically, you get what they wanted to do is try and cut down that period of waiting time for guys to, it's the constant questions that those guys get. Like, here's the public announcement, and everybody starts going, "Are you going to make it? Are you going to make it?" And it becomes a real psychological issue for a lot of guys who they have to deal with a lot of questions for a long time.
The reason I asked you, you don't have to tell me now, but Eli Manning, are you leaning the way of him being one of the finalists at least, or do you look at him and still, because I look at him and I go, would I put Eli Manning? Do I think Eli Manning was a better quarterback than Phillip Rivers? And I got to tell you, man, I know the Super Bowls. I got it, and it blinds me on it. But I don't believe he's a better quarterback than Rivers. And so I look at that and I go, okay, well, he's 500 as a quarterback. I mean, surely all of this, this got to be one of the most complex, but his last name is Manning, and that's going to weigh a lot with some folks because it's NFL royalty. Do you think that guy is –
Well, I saw the list. Look, I voted for my 25 guys already out of the 50. So we had a list of 50, and I voted for the guys I think should go to 25. And Eli's in that group of the 25.
Okay.
And in looking at it, I was going, okay, who makes the 15 out of this? And it's really, really, really complicated who's going to make the 15. Okay. And so I look at it and go, whew. But I think Eli's going to make. I think I had Eli as one of the 15, but now in looking at it further and going, okay, we get from 25, now we go 25 to 15, and going, I have a hard time seeing Eli making it this year. I really do.
Oh wow, not a first ballot.
No, I doubt it. I would. I'm not. And I just think it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be really hard for you.
I mean, look, I think he makes it in, but he is
There's one guy on this list who I think is a first ballot Hall of Famer among the new guys, and it's Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly was
linebacker, Carolina kid.
Yeah, and I think Kuechly's a first ballot guy. But even then, I could see it not happen. So I could see no first ballot guys this year. I know there are some people who are going to argue in Eli's favor, which they should. That's what they're advocates for that guy, and that's fine. And do I think ultimately Eli Manning is going to make the Hall of Fame? Yes, I do. But we've had this discussion before. Eli held up his end of the bargain.
Yeah,
they won two Super Bowls. And if you tell me that you draft a guy or basically get a guy with the number 1 overall pick and you're going to win 2 Super Bowls in 15, 16, whatever year.
Brady and Belichick doing it.
Right. And if you're going to get that, you're going to say, I sign on for that all the time. Let's do that deal. I'm taking it. Right. And I think Eli was brilliant in the way that he handled playing in New York. I think that, he's not his brother where he's maniacal about it and had to milk every ounce of every ability, everything that he had out of him. I do actually think Eli is a better athlete than his brother, but just a different guy. But at the end of the day, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? I got a hard time with that. I don't see it. Could it happen? Sure. I'm only one of 49 or 50 people who are going to vote. My opinion is only worth that much, but I would say what?
It's a lot. I mean, when there's only
it's my opinion, but I'm not sitting here going, oh my God, he cannot be a first ballot.
50 people on the planet that vote for the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, dude, but that's a big deal.
But I'm one of them, and I also don't have this overwhelming opinion like it would be a criminal act if Eli Manning was a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't feel that way about it. Some people do. I'm just like, I don't see it, but I'm also not arguing it against, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, there's no way it's going to be an insult to the Hall of Fame.
You're not losing sleep over this.
No, I mean, come on, let's get serious. If he gets in, okay, he got in. If he doesn't get in, okay, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Someday we'll see. It's sort of like Bob Griese. Bob Griese, was he really a great Hall of Fame quarterback? Yeah, look at the,
Hey, I wish I could hand the ball off 8 times a game. I mean, throw the ball 8 times a game and
win a Super Bowl. No, Bob was Bob had a great career, and they won back-to-back Super Bowls and the whole bit and all that kind of stuff. But it was a different era, and he was called on to do different things. And he only threw 8.
You know how I used to get killed in Miami when I used to say this, that Bob Griese was 10 times more accomplished than Dan Marino? People would.
I'm sorry, he was
more accomplished.
You say he was more okay.
Yeah, he's more accomplished. He won 3 AFC championships. They get credit for that. They was on an undefeated team. They won 2 Super Bowls. Marino was nowhere in that. Was Marino a better player? By far, not close, not even remotely close. However, the resume does matter too a little bit, especially when you're talking about a player that was maybe on one of the greatest teams of all time. They did go to 3 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, he's like Bob was true. Bob was special. He's that's a special resume, and he earned it. But it was a different era. Yep. And if Bob had to play in today's game, I think it would look a lot more like Alex Smith.
Nate Sudfeld.
I'll go Alex Smith, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, Alex Smith was a good ball player. Hey, before I get you out of here, what do you got tonight? Eagles or?
I think Philly's a better team right now. I think they're more.
Is it close?
I think it's close. I think it's 10 point one way or the other. Like, it's not a blowout, and it could be it could be one of those one score games, because it's not like Philly in the last 5 games is like, oh my God, look at this.
Yeah.
No, they're winning games, and they've won some games decidedly, and they've had some games that have been close. And Washington's sitting there like they struggle against the Bears. Like they could have lost the Bears. And the Bears are terrible.
Yeah.
So I'll just say this. Nobody in that division, I don't think anybody in that division this year, as much as all 4 of those teams have won Super Bowls, I don't see anybody from that division winning the Super Bowl this year. Let's just put it that way.
I got you. I'm with you. I am.
Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to win the division, and those 2 teams are interesting, right? And they're interesting, and Washington's a fun story. Philly is an interesting story and sort of fun, because how are they going to deal with Sirianni? And again, I get back to Sirianni's been a whole lot better lately now that he's been a jackass again, right?
Well, no, I call him the bald eagle. Since he shaved his head now, he's like, he's a completely different maniac in there, and he's back to being an asshole again. So we're good, right? I mean,
he's back. He is back.
City's mentality. So I guess it's good, right?
Right. He's one of those dudes in line at Pat's getting a cheesesteak, arguing about the team. And that's good, and that's healthy for him, because that's how he operates. But I don't know that makes him a great coach. It just makes him the best it makes him the best coach that Nick Sirianni can be, if that makes sense.
Sure. Hey, somebody just brought the name Offerdahl up. You're a Miami guy. You think he's a Hall of Fame guy?
No, he's not. He's a good player.
He was a really good player, but I don't think he's
really good. Yeah, he's not a Hall of Fame guy.
He's in the Hall of really good.
Yeah, I mean, just injuries derailed his career, and he didn't play enough. He was sort of an earlier version of what Zach Thomas became. Just Zach had a fully fledged career, but Offerdahl, Offerdahl had a wonderful career. He's a good dude, and he got everything.
Vic Fangio had a guy in Sam Mills. I never thought Sam Mills was a Hall of Fame player.
He made it.
That's all I needed to know. That's all I need.
I don't want to ever Sam Mills. Rest. God rest in peace. Okay.
Sure.
I was talking with somebody about Sam Mills today who knew Sam Mills really well.
Great dude, man. Community guy.
Great dude. Knew how to play. But he was saying, look, when Sam Mills was in New Orleans. Sorry, he wasn't even the best linebacker on his team.
Man, Swilling and Ricky Jackson were better.
Well, no, I said I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was one of the top 3.
No, Vaughn Johnson too was on that team.
Right. I mean, Pat Swilling, Ricky Jackson. You just said it. Vaughn Johnson. All those dudes were way more.
They made all pro. All those guys made all pro 1 year.
Right.
That whole
and Sam Mills was great and knew how to line those guys up, get them to play, get them in the right play, all those and that's valuable. Okay, that's really important. It's really valuable. It is not necessarily Hall of Fame stuff. Okay, it's like London Fletcher. London Fletcher was a terrific player with Washington, long career, a lot of tackles, not a Hall of Famer. Like when you put him next to Zach Thomas made a lot more plays and had a lot more impact and did a lot more things on the field. But Sam Mills, they made a convincing argument for Sam Mills. Little heart-wrenching, it happens sometimes, that's my opinion. But that happened. I mean, we're human, man. I mean, it's when Ira Kaufman came up and he did the presentation for your boy Sapp. and Ira Kaufman
I
was
would
great.
have loved to have heard him say that.
He did the greatest thing. He goes, and it's out there. It's been written about, and it's true. He goes, all right, let's get it right out of the way. Warren Sapp was an asshole.
Yeah.
Right? He just said it right from the start. And that took away all the tension. It sucked all the tension right out of the room and said, okay, let's get over what Warren was and how badly he treated all of us. And let's just deal with him as a player.
Well, that's exactly correct. I mean, that's a smart way.
You're a Kane, and you've got it. I mean, every Kane I know, every single Kane, you will have Sapp on your side, and you will fight with him, and you will do all this, and you will die by his side. I know that, but all of you have that same head nod going, God, he's such a jackass.
I'll tell you this: he's no Jerome Brown. That's for sure.
No, I mean, he doesn't bring people together.
He's not a Jerome Brown. I mean, as great as that kid is, that it's one of the reasons why everyone left him off the 100 all-time team is that Sapp didn't make it. They put John Randall in there. Everyone was always like, John Randall never made Defensive Player of the Year. Sapp did it a couple times, and Sapp wasn't on there. And he asked me when he's so hot and cold, honest to God. And so when we were talking, and I know, and I'm not, because my Canes guys get pissed off at me when I bring it up that we're not talking. Now we're not talking. Before, then we were. He goes, how come they didn't vote for me? I go, dude, you answer your own questions knowing that. He goes, you know why? He goes, why? Because I'm an asshole. Shouldn't it be on the field? I go, no, dude. People have emotions too. Everyone's a human. No one likes to be treated like shit. I go, and I told him, we got into an argument on it. And I go, do you know I've never had anybody that's ever known you said anything good about you? And I'm talking
as a person. Well, yeah, because
as a fan, I was talking. I've never heard anybody. The only guy ever to talk positive about him was Dante Culpepper. I mean, not Dante Culpepper, Brad Culpepper that played next to him. He's the only guy I've ever heard that talk kindly about him. The only guy.
And Brad's a bit of a politician.
Well, that's what he is now. He's an attorney. He's a lawyer now down in Florida.
Yeah, he's a bit of a politician.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just wore people out, but he was a great player. Absolutely, yeah.
He's a spectacular player here. Jason, I appreciate your time, brother. Thank you so much.
Be good. We'll talk to you.
That is our good friend Jason Cole, Hall of Fame voter. One of our dear friends, absolutely cool. We can't wait. By the way, we're going to reset and kind of turn it into a smaller version of a pregame, getting you ready for tonight's game. Don't forget, our pregame show will be right here. Xander, am I right? 7 o'clock Eastern time, we'll begin the JAKIB pregame show here. That'll be tonight, so we look forward to you guys joining us at 7 p.m. here on JAKIB. Don't forget our great friends at BetUS. It's a great night to get involved with them just like we did at the beginning of the football season. We have partnered up with our friends at BetUS, and right now you get the opportunity. One of the great things we got going on right now is the YouTube 150. Make sure you end up making your bets here with the YouTube 150. Your first, second, and third deposits up to $2K will be 125%. Don't forget the crypto also at 200%. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Home of Michael Vick. Fastest payouts in the business. 24/7 personalized service. 365 days of the year. Live wagering on all major games like this major puppy tonight between the Eagles and the Commanders. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sil sent you.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore, have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood day.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
A big heavyweight championship fight tonight. Big Sales final hour. We have a shot at 400 likes. Hit the like button. Don't forget our pregame show, 7 o'clock Eastern, right here on JAKIB. We will be part of that, along with Johnny Mac. Also, a halftime show with Xander and Johnny Mac. And then the postgame show will be tonight right here on JAKIB Sports, too. So please make sure you join us. Hit that like button. We're going to reset here in a second. I think tonight's game is going to tell us a lot. I'm with Jason. I look at the Eagles, and I think they're a little overrated. I look at the Commanders, and there are a lot of unknowns. That's how I look at both teams heading into tonight's game. I mean, I get it. I understand how you're looking at your football team, but objectively, people like Jason and I, that's how we cover all teams. And I look at Philly and I go, well, I don't think they're as good as those numbers. We'll find out tonight. Every week, and by the way, I agree with what Xander said when he was on earlier. Hey, Xander, if I missed any super chats, let's read them too. I may have missed them during Jason. And if I did, we apologize. We'll make sure we read those. All super chats go to the top. Please hit the like button. We're going to find out tonight, too, because, again, I'm not glossing over the Washington. I don't know what they are yet. They look like a much improved football team. And you look like you're trending in the right direction. Personally, I think your offense is one-dimensional. Your offensive passing game, I'll say it again to you. Kellen Moore has not improved that passing game. I don't know where you see that. Percentage is a little higher than a year ago. Yeah. I mean, what was Jalen a year ago in pass percentage compared to this year? A tick higher. Passing yards are going to be down from a year ago. Interceptions are going to be down, making the less play of the more disastrous type with the turnovers. Okay. But I don't think Kellen Moore's improved your passing game. Now, to be fair, has the war of attrition played a factor in that? No question about it. But that's, again, you know, when people go with Sills, well, the receivers have been out. Well, that's part of the NFL. You can't talk about a team and do this. Well, we'd be better if we had our guys. That's not fucking part of it, dude. Players are missed all the time on every unit. That's like telling me you don't think the Rams have a good passing attack because they have an under 500 record. Well, they miss guys too. That's part of it. That's part of it. Okay? Cosmo goes, Sills, why are the Chiefs underdogs this week? I don't know. Going on the road playing in Buffalo. If I'm Buffalo, that's the worst thing that could have happened, is that Kansas City is an underdog going into Buffalo. I'd rather have them favored by 10 points heading in and not give them any kind of fuel. Okay? No way, man, would I want anything like that. All right? Let's see here. Last year, Jalen consistently bailed the pocket to the right. His pocket presence is definitely better. How can you say that when he gave up 5 freaking sacks last week? His pocket presence got better because they're asking him to do less. That's not improving. That's taking the passing game away from the offense. See what that means? That's misleading what that guy just said. When they gave him the ability to throw the ball in the first half versus Dallas last week, he had 5 sacks and 2 turnovers. What are you talking about, his pocket presence? His pocket presence was atrocious last week versus Dallas. It was atrocious. And what did they do? They took the ball back out of his hand, ran the ball, and they ran the Cowboys off the scoreboard. That's a fact. Anybody who says anything, and Xander and John were talking about that today. His highs are so high, and his lows are so low. You're not going to win a Super Bowl playing like that. I hear Mulata is playing today. Okay? I do. Philly 4x4. Holmes pissed because he's not getting paid to be on set. Mark Holmes has more things to worry about than Big Sills. Like that shitty team he covers. How do you put content up for the Dallas Cowboys when you're not better than SMU in Dallas? SMU is better this year than the Dallas Cowboys. All super chats go to the top. Love your show, Big Seals. Appreciate you keeping it real. Thank you, brother. 2 covered sacks. I had blitz pickup, cost us 3 of those sacks. Dog, he sets the protection. Stop making excuses. Seals, how big a deal is that the chief kicker went on IR today? Senor, he went on IR? That kid, Buckner? Is that his name? The guy who aggravates Serena Williams? He went on IR? That's a big deal in a 3-point game. That's a big deal. Okay? That's a big deal. I think that game's going to go back and forth, and not to have one of the better place kickers, Harrison Buckner, I think his name is, not to have Harrison Buckner in that game, that's a big deal because that game is a 3-point game, in my opinion, and he's on the road. Okay? Get this. Sills, you're looking at one game. It's not a trend. You're telling me you don't think Jalen Hurts gives up sacks this year. Hey, somebody with any kind of objectivity, tell me where Jalen Hurts ranks in being sacked this year and where he is on that list. I don't even know. I don't know. Where does Jalen Hurts rank on being sacked this year? Because I think he takes sacks every game. Okay? I do. You're a hater, really, though. I don't hate anybody. Hate what? Talking football? Reality? Well, wait a minute, Nicole. Reality, you mean? You know, I like reality. And if you don't, that's a you thing. Hey, James, where anybody, where does Jalen Hurts rank in being sacked this year? Okay? I mean, that's going to tell you a little bit about whether or not that last comment by that guy is factual or not. I mean, Hurts has given up really a ton. Sills, reality is that Jalen wins. Okay. Let's see here. So since your meltdown of a year ago, 1-6, and you're 7-2 now, You guys are 8-8 in the last 16 ball games. I'm with you. Wins a lot of games. That's the recent trend. The last 16 games of the season, last 16 games you've played. You're 8-8. How you doing? How you doing? Gainwell is to blame 100% of the time. Okay? A lot of soft liberals in this chat. Thank God people in this state waking up. No comment. No comment. Hey, no one wants to look that up, right? I bet you Jalen's one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league because he holds on to the ball too long. And this guy says he's got better pocket presence. Okay, well, that's not a true comment. Sills, anytime anyone makes a valid point, you call them an asshole or something other put down. You're an asshole, buddy. Hey, thanks for the epiphany, Pat. And Pat, tell me what point you made that you thought was smart. So Jalen Hurts is 7th in taking sacks. You think his pocket presence has improved? Oh, he has. He was 3rd last year. So, yeah, he's improved a little. Thank you, Real Zeal. Get this. So to that guy's point, which to your point, the last one, call him an asshole, he improved from 3rd to 7th in being sacked the most by any quarterback in the league. You think he's improved the pocket presence? Sure, I guess a tick. That's why I told you. Kellen Moore's improved the passing game just a bit, not a lot. The running game has improved the offensive numbers and the offensive stats. You're second in the NFL because of your rushing attack, not because your passing game. And John even said it a couple hours ago when he basically said to you guys, it's not sustainable if you're going to go out and win yourself a championship. We all know Sills is a dickhead, but he's an entertaining dickhead. Thank you. Thank you. What's up, Dan? Who you got tonight? We're going to do that again. I got the Eagles exploiting the weak Commander secondary. How are they? Wait a minute. Let's just show you how wrong that number is. They're 4th in pass defense. How are their secondary weak? They're 4th in pass defense. You mean their run defense is 28th? That's a fact. Yes. Okay. Yes. That's not true. Sills, our advantage is 3rd down. Washington is 5th in the NFL with 45%. Our defense is 3rd down. Is 13th. Yeah. I think they struggle getting down into the red zone. Okay? I do. The big cannoli, what up? Let me give you my takes here. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. Okay. We get this one here. Here's a new one. Trevor. Sills, I don't understand. The O-line gives Hurts so much time to throw. Are routes still not developing, or does Hurts need to learn how to spread the ball around? Yes. He still holds on to the ball too long. And why is that? He's not trusting his eyes. Okay? His eyes see the play, and you see the guy's open. And he's not trusting it. How can you have one of the best deep balls, and yet you can't get the ball out in time? He doesn't get the ball out on time. And the only time they get the ball out on time, when you got single coverage and they're running the ball, that opens up the Y and the Z on the numbers. He's very limited coming across the middle. And tonight, keep an eye on that. That is going to be an essential part of tonight's game for the Eagles if they're going to win. Tonight, you have 2 good linebackers that can cover. By the way, Zack Baun and Nakobe Dean versus Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner. I got the Redskins linebackers. I'll take those dudes. Okay, I'll take those dudes. As good as Zack Baun's playing. I'll take Bobby Wagner. I think he's a better ball player. At the end of the day, who do you think the NFL guys are going to vote for the All-Pro team? Zack Baun or Bobby Wagner? It's not going to be a question. Wagner's going to make first team All-Pro this year. Okay? That's a fact. Hey, by the way, look at this. It says that's a reach. Frankie Luvu was on pace for 120 tackles, and Bobby Wagner's also on pace for 150 tackles. The only difference is those guys are legitimate pros for the last 5, 6, 7 years, and in one case, 10 years. And they've been doing it on a level every single season. Your guy is coming out of nowhere. Nobody knows who he is. Now they are figuring it out. Yeah, you're right. It's a reach. How can it be a reach when those guys are both on pace for over 120 tackles? We will see whose linebackers are better. Okay, like I said, dude, Senor, you can take Zack Baun. I'll take Bobby Wagner. Don't get pissed. We'll find out. One guy's going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and playing at a Hall of Fame level. You keep your guy. It's all good. Shorter routes to see a lot of teams throwing 5-yard passes. Eagles really don't do that. Okay? Okay? I mean, please, why don't you take the whole team and do us a favor and go cover them? Please do what? Yeah, okay, sure. Hurts 276, 60 rushing, 3 TDs, no turnovers. Yeah. Yeah, here's what we got tonight. This is for you there, Nicola. Hey, Nicola Carmichael. This is what we got for you tonight, honey. Ready? What a game tonight, man. I can't wait. Absolutely a great one tonight. Cannot wait. Hey, by the way, this is going to be either cherry pie or humble pie. What do you think it is going to be tonight? Cherry pie or humble pie? And I will concede this. If you win tonight, I will sing the Eagle song, Fly, Eagle, Fly, on the National Football Show. I'm not doing that on the postgame show. Okay? But I will do it. I like you, Sills. You usually say the opposite of what you really feel. That's not true. What are you, crazy guy? Hey, dude, do you think I do shit just to get a response? That's not. I'm not. Hey, Charlie. You guys are under the impression, not you, Charlie. Some of you are under the impression that I'm this like I have these plans. Like I told you, I'm like the Joker, Nicole Carmichael. I'm like the guy. I'm like the Joker. Do I look like a guy with a plan? I'm the dog that chases the ambulance. That's who I am. Okay. Look at Chuck. My grandpa and my grandma, believe it or not, had a Mario Lanza record. And I used to hear them play that thing, Mario Lanza. Nobody in here knows what that is. But Mario Lanza, man, what a great pull there, Chuck. That's an old school album my folks had. Yes, sir. And if you're a true Italian, you know who Mario Lanza is. How you doing? How you doing, Nicole Carmichael? All right. 7-3 Commanders tonight versus the 7-2 Philadelphia Eagles. If we put Grant on Dallas in the slot, could open the field more for Jalen. Okay? Devontae, yes. 3 more wins. Your ass will be wearing a Hurts jersey. Look at Twizwa. Nicole's my kind of girl. Sweet potato pie. That's freaking beautiful, Nicole. I was hoping. Very nicely done, Nicole. That's fantastic. What a fabulous comeback. You are now part of my secondary with Sue. Absolutely great. Way to go, Nicole. I love that. Sweet potato pie. Oh, man. That's great. Always remember, guys, I told you, big cans and big asses. Never go wrong with it. What's this, Sue? Or Hurts jersey time? Give me a whatever. Sills, go Birds. We don't always agree, but I love you, man. Sing the song. If we are up half. No, I'm not. No, man. No. No way. Let me finish this here. All right. First place in the NFC East is on the line. Okay. First place, NFC East. Great game against Pittsburgh last week for the Washington Commanders. Birds had an easy way of it with the Dallas Cowboys. Actually, 5 straight games they've had an easy way. Hurts is up this percentage. By the way, get this. Jalen's completing 7 out of every 10 passes. And he's starting to pick his run game up. And he looks like the 22 guy that they paid for. I mean, you don't have buyer's remorse here. Barkley's been insane. 9 yards away from a grand. 171 carries. He has 171 carries at the halfway mark. Holy shit, is that a lot? Okay. Sills a hoe. It used to be. Now, I'm a horse that's out to stud. No, I'm not even a horse out to stud anymore. I'm almost ready for the glue factory. Nicole, we are good. All good, man. Thank you, Nicole, for playing along. Really cool. My kind of people. Commanders, Jaden Daniels. According to your guy Jaws, the greatest rookie prospect of all times. He said he's never seen a better rookie prospect in his life than what he's seen with Jaden Daniels. Guy I predicted who would be the rookie of the year instead of the pink fingernail guy up in Chicago who looks terrible. I mean, get this. Caleb Williams looks closer to Bryce Young. Bryce Young looks better than Caleb Williams right now. Okay? He looks better. Well, I mean, if someone goes, Sills, who do you want? Caleb Williams or do you want Bryce Young? I don't know. I might take the Alabama kid. Actually won big games. I might take him. Let me see what I can do with him. I don't know about Caleb. I'm not seeing it. Okay? I'm just not seeing it. Drake May's getting better. He is. Terry McLaurin, the most underrated wide receiver in pro football, maybe one of the most underrated players in pro football. Okay? Here. Sills, if we make the Super Bowl, why would I do that? N'Kobe's okay. Getting better. Oh, are you under the impression that, dude, he's a dude? And unfortunately for you, you haven't had a dude in there. You've had a bunch of bums. So you're looking at him going, he's playing good. And you're like, okay, I guess. Compared to what? What you had? Dude, compared to what you had, he's an all-pro. Sills, I agree with you a lot of your takes, but honest question, what does Hurts have to do for how long for you to give him his credit? Love the show. Go Birds. All kidding aside, play like Lamar. Keep playing like that. That's not my style of play. I think Lamar and him are limited in the playoffs and when the playoffs come, because just like John McMullen said today, I don't think you can not win a Super Bowl with that style of play. I just don't. Until one of those guys, know the difference with Allen? Allen throws for 4,500 yards every year. Now this year, he's trended down to playing in that more role of 3,800. So, but he's got the capability of throwing 4,600 yards, 35 touchdowns. His passing skill set is off the charts great. So he's got a higher skill set level than Jalen and really Lamar. I mean, he's a better passer than Lamar. And he's just he's not as good a runner, but he's right there. He's a damn good. He's a damn look at Jared. Dude, he's 21st in passing this year. Your offensive passing game has not improved that much, except for the turnovers over the last couple of weeks. Last week he had to. When the pressure, hey, by the way, do you notice when a team gets pressure on him, he turns the ball over? Don't you think Dan Quinn knows that tonight? Quinn knows if you pressure Hurts, he turns the ball over. That's what happened in Dallas last week. They pressured him, he turned the ball over. I mean, facts. Keys to the game tonight. You'll hear more of this on the pregame show tonight. But Washington's got a good offense, man. It's balanced. They run the ball. Hey, look, they're 4th in rushing offense. They're 4th in total. And they're 10th in passing offense. They got to – here, look. Let me show you their offense compared to your offense. They're 4th in total offense. And here's the difference. This is why when I brought this up, Xander didn't want to hear it, nor does anybody else in Philly. Washington has more balance than you. They're 4th in rushing. They're 10th in passing. You're 2nd in rushing, and you're 21st in passing. Even in scoring, they're 3rd. You're 5th. Most of that's rushing and tush push. Washington has a more balanced offense heading into this game and has played more consistently at the offensive side than what the Eagles have heading into this. Coaching always beats better talent. Washington will win. Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury versus Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio. It's a pretty good matchup. As long as 10 points stays out of the way, Nick Sirianni, you're going to have a pretty good chance of being in this ball game tonight, because tonight the coaching matchups are going to be pretty good tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Who has the more balanced defense, Sills? I'm not sure yet. I think you're a little overrated in that secondary. They're 4th. That rush defense, though, I think that's who they are. Washington, they're 28th. They were really good last week against Pittsburgh. But I still think that they are not a very good rush defense. I think that's the game. Washington's got to stop the run. If Barkley gets 150 yards, that thing's over with, and it will be a blowout. Barkley can't get 100. But watch this. One of you guys can't get a jersey today. One of you guys cannot get a jersey tonight. If one of you guys gets a jersey tonight, it'll be a long night for the Commanders. It'll be a long night. Okay? It will. You're right, Sills. We don't want to hear about those whack stats. We got this. They're not stats, they're trends. Fangio's good against rookie quarterbacks. I think any coordinator of that kind of ilk, like Todd Bowles or Dan Quinn or any of these guys. Why do you, hey, let me ask you something, Charlie. So, Charlie, do you agree with me? Answer this. So, Fangio is really good versus rookie quarterbacks, right? Is that what you're saying? Well, don't you think Dan Quinn, being one of the better coordinators defensively in the NFL, knows this? How much do you think, and you give credit to Dan Quinn in the development of Jaden Daniels on letting him know what he's going to see from Vic? A Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator sitting across from him telling him, when you see this, this is what they're trying to do. Don't you think that helped Charlie, Tom Brady? when Brady was in New England, when you had the greatest defensive coordinator in the history of the league, sitting across from one of the great minds in the league, Tom Brady, and telling him and schooling him, this is what you're going to see with this banjo coverage. This is what you're going to see with high two. This is what you're going to see post-snap. I don't think you could put an emphasis on that enough, that when you have experienced coordinators like that, and you have a head coach like Quinn who's won, hey, like I brought up to people, this guy has been a head coach, took a team to a Super Bowl. This guy has won a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator. I'm not talking about the results. I'm talking about getting to the final game. He has done a sensational job. And I think Kingsbury's done a sensational job too at doing that. I really do. Fangio's scheme is good against mobile quarterbacks. It's the pocket passers that carve up the zone. It's a great take and true. And yes, you're right. Look, this is why I'm telling you tonight, I may eat crow, because if that defense shuts this whole thing down, you're going to really know where you're at. And did we not say by week 11 or 12, we're going to know what this is? Well, here we are, week 11. And we're going to know who you are tonight. And this isn't one game. This is the entire season wrapped up in 60 minutes of football. And you're going to try to either validate it, vindicate it, or there's going to be more question marks coming out of this. Maybe you're not the team. Maybe you are the team. Maybe you are the team to beat. That's all I've said today. Now, again, here's the thing with Washington. All those things that Xander said, you're crowing and giving Washington a lot of kudos. Oh, I'm giving Washington kudos for coming from where they have been and where they are now, and they're buying and believing. Okay? And the quarterback has been significant in this. He's turned the culture around. And he's playing great ball. Nobody's denying this in the league, even Nick. Okay? But I don't know shit about them either. I have no idea. Time is ticking. You know who you are, Sills. I got it. Dan, you have said it since 2022. The winning formula is passing 15 to 18 times. Hey, you could tick that up, Charlie, to 25 times. I wouldn't mind him being 25 times. But, yeah, right, it's the notion. And running the ball 38 to 40. 38 to 42 times. If you run that ball 38 to 42 times and you're running it at 6 yards a clip, Washington can't win that game tonight. Okay? Seals, you honestly think Jaden Daniels will pass more than Joe Burrow did? I do, yeah. Yep, I do. Why is that? I think Washington's got a better O-line than Cincinnati does. And let's not forget something. The one thing about Cincinnati lost both their guards in that game early. And I do believe that Washington has better. And by the way, it's 3-step drop. Okay? Easy. Dan, I love you, man. We need more reality. Slightly disagreeable guys like you. God, I love that take. That's a great take. Getting Jordan Mailata back. Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what kind of conditioning he's in. Playing at the link, big deal. Young rested team. I don't know if rested is good, though. I'd rather have my team playing at a high clip all the time and playing great ball all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with I agree. By the way, resting young players need reps, not rest. Reps. So Brandon Graham needs rest. Josh Sweat needs rest. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis don't need rest. They need reps. Kobe Dean needs reps. Zack Baun needs reps. Even Vic said it. I don't know about resting. I'd rather get the work in. Quinyon Mitchell needs reps. Cooper DeJean needs reps. Reed Blankenship needs reps. Young players need reps. Okay? Not rest. Brandon Graham? I don't have to worry about Brandon Graham lining up tonight, not knowing what to do or knowing how to prepare himself for tonight's game. He knows what he's doing. Okay? All right? If Dan Quinn is so great, why did Atlanta fire him? Why did the Patriots fire Bill Belichick? Stupid comment. Because they wanted an offensive-minded coach in there. That's what they wanted. Okay? Well, why did you fire Doug Peterson? Because he won 4 games? Oh, okay. Sirianni will be a jackass tonight. 50-50. 50-50. They miss Tom Brady. Easy. Every head coach that's a Hall of Famer has been tied to a Hall of Fame quarterback. Every one of them. Okay? There's not one Hall of Fame coach that's not been tied with a Hall of Fame quarterback, including Don Shula, including Bill Walsh, including Chuck Noll. What did Chuck Noll do? Help me out on this one. What did Chuck Noll do without Bradshaw? He had losing records. Seals, I got Jalen Hurts throwing a game-winning touchdown to Kenny Gainwell after a physically exhausting battle. Commies 33-13. Oh, man. Just when I think he's heading in the right place, what does he do? Commies 33-13. Yeah, Gibbs is the only guy that doesn't have a Hall of Fame quarterback. You're right. Won it with Theismann. Theismann was an MVP. I believe Rippon was an MVP, and Doug was a Super Bowl MVP. So they may not have been Hall of Famers, but there was an MVP behind their names. So, but to your point, yes. Okay. It wasn't even Bradshaw. It was the steel curtain. Okay, true. That steel curtain was as great as he can get. I mean, Hall of Famers at every single level. Absolutely great. I think we lose to the Steelers and give a loss to the Commanders in the second game. That's 13-4 for the season. There you go. That's Xander's number, baby. 13-4. All right, guys. Let's do this. We are now 10 minutes out from the end of this program. And don't forget, 7 o'clock tonight. Okay? Pregame show, JAKIB. Johnny McMullen, myself, and Xander. Those guys will handle the halftime. Yeah, they'll handle the halftime. And then Big Sills will be on the postgame show for exactly an hour and a half, 90 minutes. Yeah, 90 minutes. Tonight. Okay? Now, I'm not going to eat crow on the postgame or sing Fly Eagle Fly. That'll, if it happens, and you're lucky enough to have this moment in your careers and in your support of our show, to see something that will never happen and hasn't happened in my 34-year career, eating crow, that will be 2 to 6 on the National Football Show. Okay? It's never happened. Broadcasting in Dallas, San Francisco, Miami, Tampa, Atlanta, Boston. I've never done that. Okay? Do that! Sills is losing it? No. I'm looking for a game tonight, dog. Finally, hey, you guys finally play somebody. Yeah, we want to hear your guys' take on the rest of the schedule. Well, it won't matter then, Forrest, because if they win tonight, then they have the Rams on the flip side of this game, then they turn around and have to play Baltimore. Dude, these next 3 weeks are also going to tell you if you're the team to beat in the NFC. How about this? Tonight's game is about owning the NFC East. These next 3 games are about home field advantage. Do you know the difference? These next 3 games are about home field because you're battling it out with the Lions right now. So this is what tonight is. Tonight is to take the lead in the NFC East. Got to win your division. The next 3 are about home field and home field advantage. And you've never been to a Super Bowl without hosting the NFC Championship game and having home field advantage. That's how important that is just in your history. Sills Crow is nasty. Try pheasant. Hooch. I have eaten pheasant before there. Coochie. Correct. Win the division first. Tough back-to-back games after tonight. Absolutely. Rams and Sills, is the key on defense tonight Jalen Carter? Actually, I think the key is Saquon versus the Redskins run defense. If they can't stop that run game, I don't give a shit what Jalen does. And I don't care what Jaden Daniels does. You can't stop the run. The kid's on the sideline sucking on ice and looking at his tablet, and he's playing hangman on his tablet. Or he's playing tic-tac-toe. You can't stop the run, bitch is over. You'll know it early. If Washington cannot stop that run tonight, this bitch is over. Big rhythm. Yes, Abe, that is Shula's grandson. That's in Los Angeles. My prediction, 28-26, Washington Redskins. They win tonight. Saquon gonna send it home. If somebody wins a jersey tonight, it'll be a tough one for Washington. Hey man, it's fun. I usually do. Sills is a turd when I play. Oh man. Is Sills lactose? Yes, I am lactose intolerant, actually. I can't have ice cream any longer or drink milk. I can't do it, right? Let me guess, Stevens. You're a big Similac guy. How you doing? Right. Lions have Jags, Colts, Bears, Packers, Bills, Bears again. The Lions, what are they right now? 7-1? 7-1. 8-1. Yeah, and Lawrence ain't playing this week. 9-1. Packers. Let's just say they'll win that one. 10-1. Let's say they lose to the Bills. 10-2. Bears again. Okay. Well, that's only 11-3. So I think they're 7-1 right now. They're 8-1? Okay. So they'll be 13-4. Lions will win the home field advantage. But it's going to come down to the Packers and the Bills game, in my opinion. That Colts game could be a little sneaky game for them, too. Let's see here. If we lose a close one, want to see how they rebound. We haven't lost back-to-back games yet. Let's get to the game tonight. Let's see how they play tonight, okay? Worry about whether they lose after the game. Let's see what they do tonight. Forgot the Vikings, too. That's right, Taylor. Vikings are going to be the Vikings, Bills, and Packer game will determine home field advantage for them. And I think that Steeler game, still on the Eagles schedule, has now elevated into being a game that could be a determining factor. Plus, you got, like you said, the second Washington game on there. That's going to be up at that place. So, I mean, you have Rams, Ravens. Get this. Back end of this was supposed to be the easier part. But now you got Rams, Ravens. Steeler game looks like it's something. The Commander game looks like it's going to be something. The rest of those games, Carolina and the Giants, are dog shit. But you got games back there now. Pittsburgh at the beginning of the year looked like it was going to be an easy win. And I don't think it's going to be an easy win right now. So, hey, Xander, the only reason I got to take a quick timeout is because I got to get a read in here. Hey, Big Seals, don't forget BetUS, our great friends at BetUS. Great opportunity tonight for you guys to be able to bet. We have teamed up with our friends at BetUS. And don't forget our YouTube 150. Great opportunity for you guys tonight for you to bet on the YouTube 150. Signing bonus up to $2K. second and third are 125% when you make those bets and those deposits and you get those sign-up bonuses up to $2K. Do me a favor. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Fastest payouts in the business. 24/7 personalized service, 365 days of the year. Live wagering on all major games like tonight, Eagles and Commanders. betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. We'll wrap it up. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFC selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save at Southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, Birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Are you Spider Rico? 28-26, Washington Redskins. Don't forget to catch us, John McMullen, myself, and Xander on the pregame. Those guys do halftime. Then the postgame show, we shall see who is vindicated and validated. Hit the like button. You guys have been awesome today. Thank you for all the super chats. Sensational stuff. We'll catch you on the pregame show. Till then, 2 to 6 tomorrow. Will I be eating crow or not? Will be answered tonight. And Lincoln Financial looks like a great crowd tonight. 2 to 6 tomorrow, as we said, and we'll see you on the flip side.